Hearken now, ye lads and lasses, for a tale you'll wish to know. A yarn of blood and gold and spoils and lessons with to grow. The captain and his crew are set, so now let's start the show. A tale of great adventure, now aboard the Gabby Crow. The Gabby Crow floats through the ocean. Been adrift. You've been out at sail for about maybe a week and a half now. The Gabby Crow herself is a brigantine vessel, crew of no more than 10. It has 4 cannons, 2 on starboard, 2 on port. And the anchor dangling from the hull of the ship is clad. It's nested within a solid bronze bell onto which a crow is etched, and for which the ship was named. Just jostling at sea, you get that gentle ting-ting, ting-ting, rhythmically as you roll along the waves. The captain steps out from his quarters. Captain Leopold Vergen, a seasoned man, walks with a well-noted and well-earned limp due to the wooden peg replacing the bottom quarter of his left leg, an injury he sustained from when a loose rope seized his leg one day in a rough set of seas. He wears a well-weathered gray coat over a fairly well-kept blouse and canvas-patch pants. He has gray streaked brown hair kept in an untamed ponytail that peeks out the back of a tricorder hat, his face framed with a thick gray and brown beard. He rounds the corner and steps up the steps where, by the helmsman, one Eric Laveau stands. Very long-haired albino gentleman. By his side stands the first mate of this crew, one Flint the Roach Jasper, brought on both for his incredible luck and just the fact that he sticks around for a good pay, for the decent pay. Flint, would you like to describe yourself?
Yes, I would. I'm Flint Jasper. People call me the Roach because I am very hard to kill. I've been in a lot of fights. Never won any of them, but I never died either. I have long, wiry, black hair, a beard that is very, very thin coat, lots of piercings, and I've got a big red medallion hanging from my neck. That's me source of luck. Don't tell anybody I said that, though. I wear a long black overcoat with some tan accents there. Black pants and brown boots. And wear a red bandana over me head.
The captain steps up, kind of opposite the helmsman, Mr. Laveau, from you. How be the seas treating us today, Mr. Jasper?
The seas, and I am going to unfold my spyglass that I have. I'm going to look out across the seas, and can I gauge a general how we're looking?
Go ahead and give me a roll plus wits.
Roll plus wits. I will do this. With bonuses, that's going to be a 9.
Seas have been fairly calm today. The wind's cutting. You're not catching as much of the wind as you'd like to at the moment, but you feel like if you trim the sails slight to starboard, you'll probably be on your merry way pretty quickly.
Looking a bit calm, Captain. If we trim to starboard, we might be able to catch a draft. We all know our merry way.
The captain looks over the deck down towards a hulking bald man with, unlike many of the crew, his flesh is tinted not from pure like sun-drenched redness, but from almost mineral-like grayness. Hey, Tiny! Trim the sails to starboard!
Aye, Captain. And Tiny's
Tiny, would you like to describe yourself?
Absolutely. Tiny stands about 7 feet tall. He has no hair on the top of his head. He has a big, bushy white beard. And his skin is a strangely silverish blue. He's had this skin coloration ever since he joined the crew. He is afflicted by a rare disorder from his time as a silver miner before he joined the crew. Across his body, he is wearing what looks like an outfit that is way too small for him. It looks like it used to be belonging to a ranking member of a military, but it looks like it was taken from somebody far smaller than him. Any kind of ranking symbolisms or anything like that ripped off of it and worn just to almost as a trophy. And he carries on his back on one side he carries a harpoon with 30 feet of rope that is attached to his shirt. And he's also carrying what most could consider part of a mast from a smaller ship, but to him it's just a club. He's got it settled over his shoulder, but as he's doing that, he runs over and he's going to grab the ropes and he's going to begin pulling it to steer the mast and the sails in the direction that the captain has told him to do.
All right, you're the newest member of this crew and are still finding your way around the ship. You were brought on basically because you're a hoss. Go ahead and give me a roll plus smarts to see if you can understand what the captain was asking you to do.
Oh boy.
Oh, great.
That's a 6.
Oh.
You start pulling on the ropes. The sail starts cutting towards it starts cutting towards port, and as it does, another man walking by, Keith Williamson, very well dressed, combed black hair, looks to be like a formal navalman from what you understood in conversation. A stray, one of these stray beams that is moving towards the port side clocks him in the side of the head and knocks him overboard.
Oh.
He covers his mouth.
From high in the crow's nest sits a how would you like to describe yourself there? How would you like to describe yourself there, Jones?
I'm Jones is a probably like mid to late 20-year-old blonde-haired woman. The hair is cut quite short, almost shaved at the sides with sort of like a messy point at the front. They have like these kind of stunning blue eyes. They're wearing a long leather overcoat. A lot of like bandaging around like the chest, the legs, the wrists. Currently cleaning a gun, just looking over, seeing someone fall into the water, like, but notably on their.
I was gonna say you notice Mr. Williamson fall overboard from your perch.
And perching on my shoulder, though, is a giant scarlet macaw that sits on my shoulder named Davey, who acts as my voice. I cannot speak, so.
Davey flutter like feathers aflutter when you notice the person fall overboard.
Man overboard! Man overboard! And I just kind of like go back to cleaning my gun and just look down at the men down below and like, man overboard.
Davey momentarily flutters off your shoulder, lands down on the deck, and starts screeching over and over. So yes, Tiny, you knocked a man overboard. Everybody seems to notice that as they run over and see Mr. Keith Williamson just treading water, desperately trying to keep up with desperately trying to keep above water.
I'm gonna throw my harpoon just out of reach of him, so that he can grab the rope and I can pull him back up.
Give me a roll plus body.
Okie doke. I'm a spiritless man. 11.
Don't say that. There you
11. To be fair, you only would have speared him if you rolled 6 or below, because a failure is basically doing what you don't want to do. So with an 11, you throw the spear out there, and like he freaks out for a moment because it lands like 2 feet in front of him. Like he just sees this sharp spear of metal fly down into the water. But still panicking, he reaches forward and like grabs the rope, like coughing and sputtering up water. His head kind of like bleeding from where you cracked him with the beam.
And I'm gonna start pulling him
Pull
back.
me up, you bloody oaf!
All right. I start pulling him back.
I'm not too sure about the new guy, Captain.
Go ahead and give me a roll plus body again.
9.
It takes you a little while. You kind of like bang him against like the side of the ship every now and again while like hoisting, just using your big beefy muscles like watch it, you dumbass! As you like drag him back up onto the boat. He's battered, bruised, like completely soaked to the bone. The captain just comes like stumping down. Gosh. Damn it, Sullivan! He just kind of like smacks you on the shoulder. He like points you towards the front of the ship. Port. He points left. Starboard. Points to the right. Port. Starboard.
Oh, port has 4 letters. He holds up 5 fingers. Left has 4 letters. Port left. And he gives a big happy smile.
Good boy.
Flint just
Kinda
sort of covers his mouth,
you.
trying not to show that he's laughing underneath his hand.
Slaps you on the back. Take Mr. Williamson here down to the doctor. Williamson, like, who's like currently just trying to like brush himself off, like looks up. No, I'm fine.
I pick him up like a baby and I start carrying him away.
No, I'm fine.
Davey just starts laughing. Davey the parrot just starts cackling.
Davey flaps his wings and once again returns to your shoulder.
I give him a little pat.
Continuing to laugh. As Tiny, you just kind of like lift him up and cradle him and carry him 2 decks below down to the very front of the ship where the infirmary is. This part of the ship is always so creepy. It smells of various chemicals. And as you approach the door to the infirmary, you can see just like the dim light of a single candle peeking through the lock. As you open it up, the room barely illuminated by this single candle that's just kind of like sitting there on a tray suspended by 2 chains. You find the crew's doctor, one Dr. Clayton Lazarus. And Clayton, would you like to describe yourself?
You see a man who is somehow both times squat and gangly, his height deceptive as he walks hunched at an unsettling angle as though puppeteered. He limps subtly, the condition of his legs disguised by the wet fabric of his dark green pantaloons, and he is assisted in his forward motion by an ancient-looking cane, which appears as unnatural as his gait. His balding head tapers to a point like someone had spent time sharpening it on some unearthly wheel, and behind it a shock of light blue hair the color of seafoam appears to be attempting to escape from his pallid dome. Beneath his brow are beset a pair of all too wide eyes, saucers with ever-staring irises that look as though he has tried to sew the lenses of a snake to them with mixed results. The skin around them has turned bright red, making it look as though he's been staring at you for an unending amount of time, until his very eyes might bleed from his sockets. The spectacles balanced on the bridge of his hooked nose do little to distract from his frightening gaze. Within his mouth, he has clearly tried to replace several of his teeth with those of a shark or other dangerous sea creature. Bits and pieces of his dentures now wonky and displaced due to his efforts. His gums have grown puffy and black, and his lips have been peeled back around them in an almost permanent scowl that occasionally resembles a grin. About his neck, he seems to have tried to carve himself a pair of gills with, again, limited success. The scar tissue left behind an unfortunate reminder of his failure. About his raiments are decorated various trappings of the ocean. A pocket watch crafted into some sort of pearlescent shell, barnacles laced up and down his vest, trousers, and boots, forming a sort of makeshift but very ineffective protective armoring. You notice that his mouth isn't the only part of his body he has altered to appear more amphibious. At various spots about his person, he has tried to graft the appendages of assorted sea life to his own skin. His wrists are wrapped with smatterings of squid tentacles, and 2 of the webbed fingers on his left hand have been replaced with an intrusive lobster claw. The flesh surrounding these additions has grown ugly and purple, his body clearly rejecting them despite his best efforts. Upon his left shoulder, he has strapped a reinforced goldfish bowl, not unlike how a typical pirate might carry a parrot upon their person. It wobbles occasionally, and you worry the fish might be cast to the ground where it would inevitably asphyxiate, but somehow, despite his wobbly mannerisms, the fishbowl always remains locked to them, as though magnetically compelled. The bowl contains a single perfectly normal-looking goldfish that bobs to and fro, oblivious to their surroundings or the disturbed nature of their owner. When he speaks, his voice sounds like the tide retreating through an underwater cavern, empty and dark, not unlike his eyes. Yeah?
And with all of this, you now
Wow.
realize why Keith Williamson did not want to come down here. Martin, I love you.
That was
Shit, Martin.
Dude, I've never listened to an audiobook, but I'm pretty sure that's what it's like, right? That was incredible. Wow.
What is it?
Keith looks over to you, Tiny. I'm fine, really.
Nope. Gavin said, Doc's gotta look at you.
Yes, I do. I need to observe.
He didn't duck. Got clonked on the head real good.
He kind of grabs you by the beard, Tiny. I'll clock you in the fucking head.
Please, repose yourself upon my table.
Carrying him like a baby, I will put him on the table, and I will get the hell out of the way.
You've had an encounter with the underwater ones, haven't you?
I just fell in the water. I got knocked on the head by that one. It's really fine. The bleeding's already basically stopping. The bleeding is not stopping.
Dr. Lazarus grabs him by the sides of his face and holds him down. No, you must let me attend to you. And he gives him a basic medical exam.
All right, go ahead and give me a roll for smarts.
Now
All right.
open your tongue and say, ah.
So what is it with the roll?
Roll plus smarts. So
Okay. I've got 3 on that, so...
yeah.
Oh, I got 8.
The wound on the top of his head is a pretty easy fix. Like, it's just a blunt force laceration. He has a bunch of bruises and bumps on his body. Looking at his arms, looks like he might have a sprained wrist from some form of torque just yanking at the end of his arm. This would probably be when he was being pulled from the ocean.
You know, if you had the body of a fish, none of this would have happened to you. You would have been fine. And yet because of your primitive human body, you have suffered minor injuries. I should be able to take care of them for you.
Yep, just the human injuries for now, Doc. He says
Very
with
well.
ever-growing nerves.
Dr. Lazarus attempts to treat the wounds.
All right, I'm gonna let that previous roll slide as you go about treating his wounds.
And I have a perk, I think, that is Doctor, which gives me the ability to treat wounds, injuries, and illnesses. Oh, I had to, at the beginning of the day, roll plus smart
Yep.
to get the pools for
go
that.
ahead and give me
Okay.
another roll plus smarts just to see how many
Okay.
of those you have in your pool, because you'll have a
Sure.
certain amount of points to spend.
Oh, gosh. I got 5.
Ouch.
It was snake eyes. For snake eyes.
Hey.
Yup. A common nickname for a poor gambler. All right.
So
I'm
that
not
means
gonna,
I
I'm not
have-
gonna make you spend. I'm not gonna make you spend any points on this NPC. Like that's
Okay.
mainly for like humans, or human players.
People.
Yeah, actual people. But you can go ahead and give me a roll plus smarts in terms of treating his wounds and making sure he's okay.
Okay. And I got a 10.
Yeah. Tiny, are you gonna stick around for the procedure?
Probably not. Captain said to take him down there. I took him down there. I'm getting the hell out of there because he makes me feel the oogies, and I don't like the oogies.
As you walk back, you kind of like close the door behind you. It's like, so you're just gonna, and just from behind you hear, ah! 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 As the doctor heals him up shipshape.
All better. Now, go back to your land-based business.
Meanwhile, back up on the crow's nest, Jones, go ahead and give me a roll plus wits as you keep a lookout on the ocean here.
Okay, how do I do? So I roll. What do I roll for this?
2d6 plus your wit stat.
Okay. 2d6 plus my wit stat. Go! 10.
Nice. In the distance, as you're just kind of surveying the ocean around you from the top of your perch, coming up on you, you see, you have a spyglass, right?
No, I do not.
Oh.
But I can get one really quick.
In the distance, you see what appear to be kind of like a shadow on the horizon, an ever-growing shadow.
All right, I'm gonna turn towards Davey, and I'm gonna point down towards Flint the roach, and I'm gonna make the pantomime the spyglass, and I'm gonna snap my fingers and point down towards the roach and command my parrot to go collect Roach's spyglass for me real quick.
He's sort of
The parrot gives you
he
a
sort of looks
delightful
quizzically.
nod.
He looks quizzically up at Jones and like pantomimes like, "You want this? Okay." And then he reaches in and he pulls out the spyglass and hands it to the parrot.
As Davey like flutters down. Spyglass! Spyglass! You can go ahead and speak for the parrot.
Spyglass! And I'll make the mockery of a very old sounding pirate going, "Off the port bow!" And he grabs the spyglass and flies back up.
Flutters back
Goodbye,
up and into your hand.
Davey. Yeah.
As you look through the spyglass, in the distance, kind of approaching from the starboard side, you're passing up on it, but coming towards you looks to be a very large vessel. By your best, a very large vessel. It's slowly encroaching on you, kind of like coming perpendicularly towards you. Hard to say if it's giving chase, but you can go ahead and give me a roll plus smarts if you want to determine what kind of ship this be.
Okay. 10 again.
Ooh.
This is a straight up man of war. A big fucking wartime vessel with probably hundreds in its crew.
Any sort of colors being flown? Are they a pirate vessel or are they a...
As you do try to get a better glimpse at it, just focusing in through the spyglass, this catches you as very odd because such a vessel would be very hard to commandeer, but there is no mistaking it. This vessel is flying a Jolly Roger.
Oh shit, okay. I'm gonna have Davey go down and land on Flint the Roach's shoulder and go, "Jolly Roger! Golly Roger!" over and over again to indicate a boat that is a pirate vessel.
Julie Rocha, and he sort of like cups with his hands in front of his eyes, and he looks out.
I would have given that the spyglass at this point.
Okay, he'll extend the spyglass and look out in the same direction.
Go ahead and give me a roll plus wit.
He's specifically looking if he recognizes the Jolly Roger. Where did the game go? There it is.
If that's the case, yeah, you could probably see the ship from here. Focusing in on specifically the flag is going to be the difficulty. Go ahead and give me that roll plus wits.
Okay. Rolled in plus wits. Oh, not great. 7 though.
7. It's hard to get a clear glimpse of the flag itself. It does look to be, custom, not just your standard skull and crossbones black flag. There does seem to be a tint to it in one of the eyes. You can go ahead and give me a roll plus smarts to see if that jostles anything in your memories.
Okay. Rolling plus smarts. Ooh.
Ooh.
It's going to be that's a straight roll. 8.
All right. You know that there are certain pirate captains out there that customize their flags, that do something like specific to them, that give them a specific type of notoriety rather than just being straight up pirates. You've sailed under a few pirate crews, you know, moving from place to place until you were finally brought on by this captain, who's not a pirate. He's simply a privateer looking to make his way from the lonely port that you found him at, that you were abandoned at by your previous crew. This specific you don't know specifically, you know, who would be running this crew, but you got a bad feeling.
Yeah, I do see the size of the ship, and I slowly lower the spyglass, and I...
Further, as you are looking, and as you kind of glance back down, it seems to become flanked by 2 more sloops that are traveling significantly faster. Smaller crew, so this is not only a pirate ship, it seems to be a small armada of sorts.
Captain! Captain! And he starts running and trying to find the captain.
The captain is back up. Basically, as soon as Tiny came up, the captain is just advising him on how to cut the sail properly. And then you pull it in that way, and then you tie the knot there.
Captain! Captain!
Oi, Roach, what be it?
Jolly Roger!
What? He's
Man of war and 2 sloops!
Man of fucking war. Pulls the, like, he just kind of grabs the spyglass from your hand, kind of pulls it up. Bloody fucking hell. All hands to deck! All stations!
Can I have that
We need-
back?
Aye, he kind of like slaps it into your chest as he like hurriedly makes his way back over to the helm. Pirates! We got bloody pirates on the port bow! Or stop it, fuck it! He says confusedly as he's like looking back at Tiny.
Stressful day.
Starboard, fuck it!
Everyone seems to be making mistakes.
Prepare to evade!
It's alright. Happens, we're all human, I think.
Jones! Which way be our best course? He calls up to the crow's nest.
Oh, I missed that completely. You cut out like 5 times.
Yeah,
I'm so sorry.
When I yell, Discord does that. He yells up to you, Jones, which way be our best course?
Oh god, how do I figure that out?
That'd be a roll plus wits.
Oh god, okay, go.
You can do
10
it.
again! Yeah!
Attempting to do just like a full turnaround and get away, these sloops would be on you in no time. You look off into the distance and see that a storm is brewing. You're thinking that with the heftiness of this ship, your best bet to lose these sloops would be in that storm.
Okay, I'm gonna send down Davey to the captain, and he's gonna recall like a old, like grizzled old man at like one of the ports we stayed at, where he said, "Never trust the eye of the storm," but instead it just cuts out the never part and goes, "The eye of the storm," and is gonna fly down to the captain, perch on his shoulder, and recite that in perfect mimicry.
He looks off into the distance and sees the dark clouds. Aye.
Bloody hell, you mad!
We're going
the
into
best-
the maelstrom.
It's the best way to
We're not
lose
gonna
them.
we're not gonna fucking die!
Just get men on those fucking cannons, Roach!
Okay.
As the ship
Tiny's
begins,
going to the cannons.
as the ship begins cutting towards the storms,
All hands on deck! We need people manning the cannons! Alright, sir! This is happening!
All hands on deck!
the bell starts ringing. Ding 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 ding. As another grizzled-looking fellow, a Mr. Oren Burke, typically taciturn fellow, not quite as big as Tiny, but still a strapping strapping gentleman who serves both for grunt labor and kind of as the crew's cook. He starts ringing the warning klaxon as those who are able, who at this point would just be one other crew member that you have not met or I have not introduced, a Kendall Lark, just a very young, probably the youngest, one of the younger people on the crew, kind of steps up and starts to like man a cannon, looking around as the wind starts blowing and the rain starts coming down. The sloops, as expected, start to catch you in this storm, and they begin lining up, trying to flank you from either side. You can see men on the their crew seems like, at least on deck, appears to be manned by about four people per ship. Some on the deck have harpoons tied to rope, looking like they're going to try to slow your ship down if they can get within range, and they have a single cannon each on one side of your ship. Steady, lads! Steady! It is now up to you guys to decide what you wish to do in this situation.
Pull out my gun.
Pull out your gun!
As I'm firing! I'm sorry, no, I don't. I just kind of instinctually just pull it out, and I'm keeping an eye on that storm.
I'm helping load the cannons.
All right. The cannons, by this point, you've been able to load them as these sloops were catching on you.
Am I aware of the situation? Is
Oh
Dr.
yeah. You're aware, and you've well treated the person below deck who is currently in a state of shock and rest.
Now, you're all ship shape, as they say. Now, let's get back into the fray with you.
And I guess I shoulder him and I start carrying him up onto the deck.
Yes, Doctor. As you go up to the deck with him, you see the situation surrounding you. The fresh air, a strange feeling to your normally indoor face at the moment, as the salt kicks up around you.
Smells like the ocean is happy.
Yes, sir! No, whatever you say.
I suppose I lead him to a particular, like a cannon or something where he could be of use. And
there's currently an unmanned cannon that you can like just kind of set him at.
I set about getting my instruments together just in case of injuries throughout the fracas.
Alright. The sloops have now made it within range of cannon fire.
I'm going to be manning the sails to try and steer us either away from any incoming fire or away from the sloops if they try to board.
All right. With your situational awareness, go ahead and give me a roll plus wits to, just keep your calm about you. Excuse me.
Are we in a combat scenario? Just for the perks I've selected.
All things considered, yes.
Okay.
But you are in a vessel, so the situation may be different than what is listed in a perk. If you have any questions,
right.
just let me know.
Oh my god.
You are freaking
That's
the
a
fuck
5.
out. You are.
Oh no!
Your nerves are getting to you. You haven't been under direct attack like this in a very long time on a ship, let alone flanked by 2 ships. You're basically frozen in place as they begin kind of peppering your hull with these harpoons. They start hurling harpoons towards your ship to try to get a grip on it. All right, now that we are technically in a combat scenario, I need everybody to tell me what they wish to do as they are throwing harpoons at your ship.
And they're in range for cannons, right?
Yes, if they are within range of throwing a harpoon, they are definitely within cannon range.
All right. Has the order to return fire been given yet?
Yes, the captain basically screaming out as he takes the helm himself. At will, men! At will!
I'm firing off my cannon.
All right, give me a roll plus body as you attempt to steady this thing and fire it towards the enemy ship.
That's a 9.
As you take aim, you don't get the people on the deck, but boo! You punch a nice hole in the side of that sloop, and enough that, like, kind of halfway down the deck, it kind of starts taking on a bit of water. Some of the crewmates start kind of panicking. A few of them stop hucking harpoons and begin to run to try to repair the damage that has been done. More cannon, like the other cannon next to you, who Mr. Williamson is standing at, fires off as well. His also kind of deals a bit more damage to their hull, does not quite punch the hole that yours did. Looks like his gunpowder might have been a little wet as you both proceed to rearm your cannons.
Yep, shove the cannon back in position, reload it, get it ready to go again next round.
Jones and the doctor, what are you guys doing in this
Oh,
situation?
Well,
This is all happening at like. Oh, you go ahead. You go ahead.
do I notice that Flint is having a particularly bad panic attack involving because he rolled bad, right?
Yeah, you can see him
clutching he's clutching this medallion that he always wears on his neck, and he's pale as a ghost and sweating bullets.
I want to go up to him. I want to drop my instruments, and I want to sort of casually limp over to him and grasp him by the arm and pull him close to me and stare deeply into his eyes with my horrifying eyes. And I want to say,
You think you're afraid now? What do you think will happen when our ship is taken from us? When we are left abandoned with nothing but the ocean for our company? Do you think that the fear you're feeling right now will even register with you? Do you think you will still recall feeling this way? Or do you think you'll be numb to the terrors you're currently experiencing? Snap out of it, man.
Go ahead and give me a roll plus charm.
okay. Roll plus charm. I got 10.
The good doctor speaks a lot of sense. Connor, I'll let you re-roll your wits check as this man's terrifying visage shocks you back into reality.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. No. You're right. Yeah. You're right. Okay.
That's better, huh?
Okay, friend. Okay.
Now, chop chop.
Go ahead and
Jump,
re-roll
yeah. There we
Go
go.
ahead and give me another roll plus wits.
Oh no!
3.
3 plus. That's a 6. Oh, it's still a 6. It's still a fail. So, Doctor, while you were able to kind of like snap him out of it, he's now panicking about the inevitable doom that awaits him beneath the ocean.
Well,
He's just staring at the. He's just staring at the enemy ship, just staring.
All right, Jones, what's your course of action?
I just see the scene down below. And I just roll. My eyes just like they would be in space right now if they could leave my eye sockets. But I just how? So everything's at sort of a ground level. Oh God, could I send? They're harpooning her ship. Is there like ropes attached to the harpoons?
Yeah, they're attempting to like basically harpoon your ship and drag it to slow it down so that the man of war can catch up.
Could I send down Davey to like break like with their beak because they're a parrot? Could I have them like bite through one of the ropes and just try and like snap one of the ropes? Potentially.
I'd allow that. I'd say that like
Okay.
send like Davey seems like a very well trained parrot.
Mm-hmm.
So you could basically give them the signal to go like untie or something like that.
Yeah.
And Davey will go attempt to loosen a rope. Go ahead and give me a roll plus charm to see if Davey will manage this for you.
Okay. Go. 13.
Nice.
As smart as a fucking whip and twice as competent as the first mate at the moment. Davey swoops down, like wings aloft, this massive macaw lands on at the end, like just kind of perched upon one of the harpoons that managed to embed itself in the side of the ship and just starts like slowly but surely, like with its beak gnawing through the rope that's tied to the harpoon. And soon the ship is loose from that harpoon as the other ship is currently being as the other crew on the other sloop is currently trying to patch up their ship. We're back up to the top of the round as these ships, some of which have harpoons pulled in, are trying to like draw themselves in a little bit closer. The one with the hole in its hull is drawing back a little bit more. Its harpoons kind of dislodged from the ship as it couldn't quite lodge any in before the bombardments on the broadside of its ship. So until they can get their sloop repaired, you are currently dealing with one sloop on the starboard side.
I'm so glad I took my boating exam, so I know what that means.
Yeah. So everybody, we're back up to the top of the loop here. What does everybody wish to do this time around?
I'm gonna
I
try
suppose I'll start
to work
again.
up my courage, and I am going to continue trying to pull away from the ship and the sloops,
Alright.
using the sails.
Give me another roll plus wits as you try to cut the sails to the trajectory of the wind with the storm.
I need
What
a
the
drink.
fuck?
Oh my god, Connor.
How is
happened?
this possible?
It fits your character so well, Connor. but
It really
so
does.
bad. It really does.
Poor Roach is just having panic attack after panic attack up here.
He's like Squidward in that one episode where he goes, "Future!"
Maybe I shouldn't stand right behind you.
He says, rubbing your shoulders. Okay. Yeah. Basically, you're still in a state of deep panic as the storm begins to bellow harder and harder around you. The the mast itself seems to wave a little bit, teeter back and forth as the sails begin to get catches the wind from all sides, which is almost pulling in like a vortex. You can see the wind first inflate the sails super hard, then it gets sucked back in. So not only are you having a hard time dealing with your nerves, but you're also having a hard time predicting how the wind is going to work in here right now. You are in all sorts of a bad shape when it comes to cutting these sails. All right. Tiny, Doctor, and Jones.
Tiny's firing the cannon.
Are you firing upon the same sloop you were already firing on, or are you?
The one on port side is starting to fall back, correct?
Yeah, they're pulling back a little to try to deal with the damage that you currently have dealt to its hull.
I'm a hammer port side. Make sure that
Alright.
they can't mess with us anymore.
All right, so you're just gonna try to finish this ship off.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to. I'm a fail.
Unfortunately,
That's
as you
sick.
attempt to fire on this ship a second time, the gunpowder that you're using in this cannon got just a little got way too wet, and it's an entire misfire as they return fire with their single cannon. Splinter and wood fly up from all around you, both destroying the cannon that Mr. Williamson is standing at and peppering you with debris for 3 damage.
All right. My armor takes it.
It embeds itself in your thick coat as you kind of cover your face.
And that's it for me.
All right, Doctor and Jones.
Well, even though it's probably pointless, the doctor, given that he's a little loopy, is going to walk to the side of the boat and try and call upon the great elder beings of the deep to come to their aid. And he's
doctor-
going to stand... Go on.
So the Doctor walks to the side of the boat and just starts screaming gibberish down into the oceans. The same gibberish that you can sometimes hear echoing from the front side of the ship, deep in his deep in his little infirmary late at night sometimes. Go
Oh,
ahead.
great old ones, we beseech thee, allow us passage through this tumultuous storm and permit us access to your most glorious currents. Dispatch our enemies with your impossible strength. O glorious gods from the inky darkness, I offer the blood of my crew as payment.
Oh,
Wait,
Jesus.
what?
Okay, go ahead and give me, as you were trying to invoke something, go ahead and give me a roll plus strange.
Okay. No bonus in strange, so I'm just going to roll these
Summon
two.
Cthulhu. I'm gonna.
8.
You feel a shudder just kind of like run through your system, and you see like kind of a ripple among the waves. You're not sure what heard you, but something heard you.
Fantastic.
Oh no.
All right. That leaves Jones.
How turbulent? How hard of a time is Davey having in this turbulent air?
Davey is managing. Like they have to flap a few times, but they seem to be soaring on the wind relatively gracefully. They've been a seabird with you for quite a while, so this isn't their first storm. Although this storm is starting to get quite violent.
Okay. And for the one ship that's still tagged to us, how many ropes are attached to the ship from down below that I can see?
Presently, it looks like there are the one that Davey is currently undoing and has now successfully untied from one of the harpoons. There are still 2 more. One harpoon is embedded deep into the hull. The other one is kind of like just barely sticking in there. But you
Okay.
can see these people kind of pulling themselves in, and they're going to attempt a boarding maneuver if they can get close enough.
And there's a helmsman as well on top as well on their
Yes,
ship.
there is a man at the helm.
Is there anybody near him?
Looks like everybody else is on the bow, just ready to, still throwing harpoons, still trying to get close enough to the ship, so no.
Okay. I'm gonna have I have 2 options here. Do I go for another rope, or do I have Davey attack the helmsman and try and disorientate him? I'm gonna have Davey go for another rope. I'm gonna have him go for the one that's deeper, like it hit us, like it's more solid in the side of the ship.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna have Davey go for that.
Give me another roll plus charm as you attempt to signal your bird, like, good, go for another one.
7, not as good.
All right, Davey, as you kind of like lift yourself up to kind of like point to Davey to do go the right direction. Davey's having like still kind of unfocused, but actually kind of figured what you want. So Davey's going to go down there and take care of that. That's not really the issue. The issue you find yourself with is as you kind of lift yourself up, a gust of wind hits you really hard and kind of like jostles you to the back as the mast itself kind of like lurches. You're kind of flung halfway out of the crow's nest and are kind of dangling from the top of the ship right now.
Okay. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Okay.
All right, as they pull themselves in on this other ship and start to get close enough, a few more harpoons kind of hook in as Davey's undoing another one. They're pulling themselves closer and closer and are going to attempt to start boarding your ship. Cannon fire is having a hard time being let loose on this side as so much of the gunpowder has just been wetted. There were a few stray blasts, but some of them just like went off the hull. Some of them just did like very surface level damage, but having a hard time keeping it going here. Meanwhile, the other ship is slowly getting repaired and is pulling into the storm, trying to catch back up to you. So you have one ship where the deck crew, probably about 3 men, are looking to jump on and board you, and one side where the ship is starting to come back up again. Back up. What you guys wish to do?
Do we have anything like grease or oil?
Give me a roll plus wits to formulate this plan.
Because I'm going to, as they're boarding our ship, I'm going to try and slick up the area where they would all be hopping on from, and see if I can trip them up. They may have their sea legs, but do they have their oil legs? Is the question. Here we go. That is going to be a 9.
So after your last panic attack, you had an instant snap, and you ran down below deck. Everybody just thinking, "Oh, that's Roach, fucking coward." You come back. You're meanwhile coming back up right now with a can of basically oil that's used to kind of like slick down the ship and make sure that it's smooth and repels water. And you begin working to, as they will have to climb up aboard your ship, as their ship is shorter than yours, slick down the sides and the rails so that they can't climb over quite as well.
Huh, right. Yeah! Climb that! Shitheads! Put on me!
Dr. Tiny and Jones.
So they proper boarded now.
They're about to board, basically, is what you're reacting to currently. And the other ship is coming back up from the other side.
Tiny's going to take another shot with the cannon.
All right, go for it. Plus body.
Yep. Wow!
Oh!
Jeez.
Wow, that is snake eyes. That is a 5. My
Ouch.
cannon's probably gone.
Your cannon itself is not gone, but as you fail firing at it, several harpoons are sunk into the back side of your ship, and they are currently reeling themselves in as well as they are reloading their cannon. You now have 2 ships that are prepping to board, so Doctor and Jones.
Okay, I'm dangling outside of the crow's nest.
Yep, currently you are trying to keep your hands on the crow's nest itself and trying to hoist yourself back in.
I'm gonna call Davey back.
Davey, noticing you're in peril, flutters away from its previous task after untying yet another harpoon.
I really, really, really want to Pirates of the Caribbean, like, ride down the line, like, the rigging.
If that is
And,
something
like,
you want to do, that is something you can attempt.
I want to take a shot at probably the most immediate person attempting to board, especially making sure that they're brandishing weapons as well. Are they brandishing weapons?
Yes, yeah, the
Okay.
men on the ship who are just about ready to jump in, it will be rather difficult for you to get a clean shot at them dangling from your current position.
Okay. Oh, God. I'm gonna... oh, God, this is so hard. I will make my way down and, like, run across one of the banisters of the sails.
So you're gonna try to
and
make your way down to a beam in order to get a better...
Yeah,
view?
I'm gonna
Alright.
just make my way down, and then I'm gonna aim a shot. I don't know if I can take a shot at the same turn, but I'm gonna get into position to take a shot at someone if they attempt to board.
All right, give me a roll plus body to get to the to a position that you'd like to get to.
Okay. 9. Oh, thank God. Okay, 9.
All right. You see how the ship is kind of like swaying and waving, and you rock yourself forward. The nearest place for you to land is still a decent chunk of, decent chunk down, like 10 feet. So you kind of rock yourself for that, and boom, just kind of catches you like right in the gut as you're like holding on to that bar, but you manage to swing yourself up onto it and work your way over to a nice vantage point. You do take 1 point of damage from the fall, just kind of like knocking the wind out of you and jostling your skeleton a bit.
All right.
And then you take aim and give me a roll plus body to fire on one of the
I
boarders,
have marksman,
which will give you +1 to the result, correct?
so that means I have +2 if I have a body of 1, correct?
Yep.
All right. Bang! 9 again!
Ooh, nice.
All right, you take aim and bang! As one man, like, who just finished, like, pulling his... Like, he finishes pulling the line attached to the harpoon taut and tying it up. He starts to climb up on the banister, but BAM! Caught right in the chest, falls into the ocean, bleeding.
I'm gonna like, I hope that Roach was like right in front of that guy, and I'm gonna blow the smoke from the gun and start reloading, and that'll be my turn.
All right, Doctor.
Okay, true to my word, I'm going to make an offering to the denizens of the ocean, whatever or whoever it might be, and I'm going to retrieve a vial from my person that contains a portion of blood from each of the crew members that I have somehow secreted upon myself while performing surgery or other healing acts upon them. And I'm going to
It certainly wasn't difficult from the last guy you were treating.
Indeed. Got a lot of good blood out of him. And I'm going to pour it into the ocean, calling out to the, whatever eldritch beings I believe live down there.
All right. As you walk over to the ledge, you can see a man, you can see a couple of the men, like the two other men that were not manning the helm, trying to climb the side of the ship. As you just pour this vial over the side, glinting down at them maniacally. They say, speaking this gibberish towards the ocean, they just kind of look at each other. What the fucking hell?
I wink at
them. In the
them.
water, you see a shape start to appear
No.
as a great white shark leaps out from beneath one of the men, clenches him in his jaws, flips his tail, and jumps back in. Jesus fuck!
Feeding time.
The other man begins frantically climbing up the side of the ship. When he gets to the top banister, he puts his hand on it, just trying to get away. His hand slips off. Panickingly, he throws his arms forward, falling down into the ocean, where another shark awaits him. The grease kept him from getting a grip.
Yeah!
Teamwork.
That's what we call synergizing, yeah?
The helmsman on that ship looks very confused and a little scared and starts to just kind of like slow down to try to slow your ship down, basically. Like he's cutting the sails. Like he leaves the helm and just starts like running to like trim the sails to slow you down. But the storm is picking up so much at this point that his ship is just rocking so hard that it's rocking him back and forth across the deck. And without any helmsman to support it, and without anybody manning the helm to support that, he's just being jostled and is eventually thrown overboard. It is now an empty ship. Now you just have the one sloop left. As the storm continues to rage and the other continues to catch up on you. William, Tiny, Sullivan, as you attempted to fire your cannon, this one was actually a complete misfire. You packed it a little too tight, and the explosion deals an additional 3 points of damage to you. And poor Mr. Williamson next to you also takes a good chunk of that as he falls backwards.
Oof.
We are back up rotation as the other sloop is once again trying to catch up to you, and you have two somewhat non-functioning cannons on this side, but you do have two cannons that you can roll from one side to the other to try to take care of them if you don't have another means by which to deal with this ship. The man of war, off in the distance, is slowly gaining ground on you, but it's not. It's still a ways off. This one ship that's tied to you is definitely slowing you down, even if it's sans crew.
So, this sloop, does it have like lanterns on it, and are they lit because of the storm?
Yes.
Okay. In an effort to distract the crew with a situation, I will pull out my flintlock pistol and I will try to shoot out that lantern and start a fire on their ship.
All right, give me a roll plus
In
body.
an effort, but plus body.
That is, you are using your motor functions. Yes.
Fuck.
Aiming is an
Fuck.
act of dexterity,
What are you gonna do?
which is an act of your body.
I was hoping this was going to be an act defensively because I'm not attacking anybody. Okay.
You are actively trying to like hold a gun steady in a storm. This entirely involves body control.
The storm
my
is threatening
nerves.
you.
my nerves are shot, so I say fuck that. I'm going to go over to the remaining cannons, and I'm going to try and help aim them towards this sloop, so that
Alright, so you're going to help maneuver the cannon over to the other side.
Yeah, so that our marksmen can get better shots.
All right, give me a roll plus wits.
Roll plus wits. Okay, here I go. 7. Damn, I really wish I
Jeez.
didn't. I
All
really
right,
wish I
the
wouldn't.
ship's a little rocky as you're like maneuvering the cannon. It's a bit tricky. The deck. Somehow some idiot decided to put a bunch of oil here, so it's really slippery. And as you maneuver it over to the side of the ship, you're getting it over to the gate. But as you are, you kind of get pinned to the side of the ship by the cannon itself. It kind of slams into you as you hit a wayward wave. You take 3 points of damage.
Oh shit, reduced to 2 because I got a lucky amulet.
For your shield. But you did get the cannon in place.
Excellent, that's good.
Alright. Doctor and Jones.
We have one sloop left.
Yep, one sloop left, and then the empty one that is still currently tethered to your ship by a few of the harpoons.
Okay.
Are there injured folks?
And the storm that continues to rage.
Are there injured crew members on the deck at all, like people who have been hurt by the general battle situation?
Mr. Williamson's not looking so hot. He was just standing next to an explosion that Tiny was next to. Tiny, I'm guessing, has a few scrapes from that as well. And, of course, you have Roach, who has currently got his leg and hip kind of pinned against a wall by the cannon that he just moved over.
Oh,
He's
gosh.
really feeling the pinch from that.
I suppose I could rope in another crew member to help me pull the cannon off. Was it Roach, you said, had the cannon against him?
Yeah.
Yep, that's me.
I would try and encourage someone, or just attempt to pull that off and tend to whatever injuries he sustained from that.
All right. Just to get him out from beneath the wheel of the cannon, go ahead and give me a roll plus body, just to kind of get him out.
Okay. Sure. Oh, a 5.
You have 0 in your body stat? Yeah, so
Yeah.
this thing's just a little too heavy for you. In fact, you kind of slip and kind of crack your, as you're trying to maneuver the cannon, you're kind of pinching yourself and cracking against stuff as well.
Okay.
You're gonna take 2 points of damage as a wave just kind of rocks you into the side here as well, bruising up your ribs a bit
Okay.
and nearly throwing you overboard. And Jones.
Okay. What's the ocean terrain? Is it just water, like turbulent water? Or are there any rock or anything?
It's very turbulent water. Ahead of you, there's some big waves coming. You're not sure you feel perfectly safe clinging to this section of the mast for much longer, frankly. You can see that this storm is big and violent.
I'm gonna take out my rope and I'm gonna ride down the rigging to the deck if I can.
Yeah, so that should be simple enough. Go ahead and act. Give me a roll plus wits.
Wits, okay. The 10.
Yeah, simple enough. You hoist the rigging and just kind of slide down to the deck very nimbly as Davey once again just flutters over to your shoulder.
Okay, I'm gonna load my pistol. I don't think I can do anything else, right?
Basically the round will reset here just a second as this other ship once again catches up to you. They're training their cannon on you, and they're continuing to try to reel you back with these harpoons. Looks like some of these guys are ready to board as well. 2 of them are ready to board. One's at the helm and one's on a cannon.
Even though it's not obviously an automatic weapon. My pistol's out, and that'll be my turn.
Yeah, clap, clap. All right. Yeah, but we're back up the list again, so if you would like to act immediately, you may.
I think I'm good. I want to see how things
Okay.
go.
So, I will try to slip out from this cannon's grip unless I am like actively pinned and I need to make a roll to get out.
You should be able to slip out on your own. You've taken the damage from it and like just kind of peel yourself free.
All right. I'm going to all right, so the sloop is still on us, right?
Yeah.
I am going to grab some barrels and I am going to try and shove them off of our ship and into the path of the sloop in a way acting defensively.
Just for the plan, I'll go ahead and say roll plus wits. Like you're
Excellent.
You're basically rolling barrels.
I am
at-
trying-
like, you're not hurling these barrels at them like Donkey Kong.
Yeah. I'm rolling them out like Diddy Kong or something. Here I go. There we go. That'll work. All right. Now, several things will start to happen. First of all, everybody gets +1 on the next roll.
Nice. Is that from Squad
except-
Commander?
That is from my squad leader perk, and I get +2 to my next roll for Master Tactician.
All right.
Sweet.
As you begin to roll these barrels of gunpowder, like kind of half emptied, into the water, sitting in front of this ship. You're not sure how wet they are, but man, like if this works, this fucking works. So Tiny, as you're trying to like reload this cannon that's basically fried, Roach walks up beside you, just starts rolling that barrel that you were using into the ocean, after slamming it shut. All right. Tiny-
Additionally,
Oh, yes?
before I roll one out, I grab a scoopful and I start smearing black powder on my face and my hands to make me a bit more shadowy. And I am going to utilize... Where'd they go? And I slip into an unnoticed position on the ship.
All right. So upon acting defensively, you have covered yourself in black powder, rolled a barrel overboard, and as they're distracted by that, you camouflage yourself and just kind of like slink over to the side of the ship. All right. Tiny, Doctor, and Jones.
Tiny, noticing that the gunpowder barrel that he was using just got rolled overboard, he's like,
All right.
Oh, bollocks with these cannons! He grabs the mass off of his back. Tiny smash! And he runs over and he's going to try to baseball swing the boys that are climbing on the boat.
All right. You find the area where all the harpoons are attached, and for the two men that are climbing in, go ahead and give me a roll plus body.
All right. I will use one of my abilities. I will use black belt on that one.
All right. So re-roll that 1d6.
10.
So that's a 10. All right.
11 technically, because nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, 11.
Yep, true, 11. You step up over the side of the ship, and you see these guys just like kind of like grabbing onto the ropes that the harpoons are latched to. You take this massive piece of wood and just like swing it down, sweep it across both of the harpoons, breaking them as these men just like slap into the side of their own ship, barely keeping their grip. As these harpoons on that ship are no longer attached to yours, as you have broken them free.
Holding the
Doctor
mask over his head. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Lenny.
Oh yeah, Doctor and Jones, it is now your...
So the current situation is we got that swoop detached and the man of war is still approaching.
The man of war is still approaching. You have one unmanned sloop still kind of
Right.
like fastened to the side. This one is no longer fastened, but is still manned. There's still a man on the
Okay.
cannon there, and a man on the helm.
All right. Well, I guess I sort of dust myself off, get myself back, shake my head a little bit, and I take a bit of laudanum to sort of deal with whatever issues I might be having, the stress of battle.
You know, just precautionary laudanum.
Yeah, just sit off to one side and just take a dose.
All right, go ahead and give me a roll plus smarts to just, or unless you just want to use your pool to heal yourself.
Sure, I'll just use my pool.
All right. So Jones, you got black powder in the water, and one ship that is currently unmanned. Monty, you there?
I was muted. I'm an idiot.
no.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's all right.
I was gonna ask for clarification. So the one that's unmanned is not attached to us, or it is attached to us?
The one that is unmanned is attached. The one that is currently manned is not. And the two that were trying to climb aboard are currently dangling from ropes on the side of their ship.
Okay, dangling on ropes on the side of their ship. On the manned one, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna have Davey fly over and peck the hands of the guys who are holding on, just bite their fingers as they're holding on to the side to get dropped into the sharks below.
Okay, roll plus charm.
Okay. 9 plus 1 because of
that's a 10.
That's a 10.
Hey.
Sure enough,
That's a 10.
Sure enough, Davey flies over, starts pecking at one while just ruffling its feathers in the face of the other one. They try to bat the bird away, but in doing so, they fall into the waters below.
Looney Tunes style, I love it. Like Tweety
Yup.
Bird and Sylvester.
And Davey flies back over to you.
I give him a little scritch again, and I nod towards my fellow sailors, and that's what I'll do for my turn.
All right, the storm's really picking up now. This sloop that's keeping up with you, the damage that you had done to its hull is now reopening and fracturing as these waves are getting so violent. You're basically leaving the sea for a moment, every time you're going over one. Your ship is large enough to cut through it. This ship is having a rough go as it's basically getting tossed and thrown all about. The ship attached to your side is making it difficult, though. Some of the harpoons from the empty ship are jostling free, but it's going to take you with it if, it's causing some real issues on board your ship if you can't get that thing loose.
Real drag.
Yep. Back up in order. Everybody can choose what they wish to do from here.
All right. So, I, Flint the Roach Jasper, will grab my flintlock pistol and I will ride down one of the harpoon ropes onto the sloop.
All right, Legolas.
And if I see if I see that lit lantern again, I'm just gonna smash it on the ground.
All right, so the only harpoons currently attached to your ship are from the empty vessel right now.
Oh, the empty vessel.
Yeah, the other one, Tiny knocked all of the harpoons that you had embedded in your ship free with his club.
How are the harpoons attached to the sloop? Are they attached by?
They're tied to various places on the hull, on the deck of the ship. You could see the men throwing it, and then they would take the end of rope they had and tie it in a nice sailor's knot.
I'm still gonna ride down.
The hull. Okay.
I'm still gonna ride down, and I'm gonna cut off the ropes on the sloop side.
Aren't we gonna lose you?
Or either cut or untie, whichever works.
Should be simple enough. Go ahead and give me a roll plus wits.
Roll plus wits.
That'll be +2 for yourself, I believe.
This will be +5, I think, because of my
your
master's practitioner.
Yeah, because your Well, I was saying you get an additional +2 on top of your wits.
Yeah,
because
yeah. All right. Here I go.
How are you
I
going to get
needed
back?
it. That's going to be a 7.
No. Oh,
Holy shit. So
On,
yeah.
on another note, fuck you, roll 20.
Yeah,
Wow, yeah, no
this is
kidding.
insane.
Jeez.
With a +5, you still got a 7. So yeah, you're able to like hop down over to the other ship. Your legs are having a hard time finding their place as this ship is being tossed about on these waves. But you start to untie it one by one. As you finish untying
Okay.
the last one, you do realize the problem that you found yourself in, though.
Nope, I knew that full well going in.
Okay, you are now on a wayward sloop that is being dragged away from your ship and being tossed about in this violent, violent storm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
as long as you know.
As long as you are aware of your situation. Doctor...
I'm not thinking with me brain, I'm thinking with me heart.
All right.
And I know in me heart of hearts, my crew is going to come back for me.
So we got Tiny, Doctor, and... Tiny and Doctor.
Okay, so how far is the ship away from us, the sloop away from us at the moment? We're still in the harpoon range, right?
You're still in harpoon range of this ship, yeah. As it's kind of like drifting apart and it's starting to get tossed about by these waves. They're having a hard time keeping straight in this storm right now. You're thinking that this ship is either on the verge of turning around or just being destroyed.
I'm going to throw my harpoon towards the deck of the ship with my 30-foot rope to give Roach a way to grab and get back to the ship.
Okay, you're going for the empty one. Sweet. Yeah, go ahead and give me a roll plus body.
That is an 8.
You hurl the harpoon. It sticks on the side of the ship. It might not be as good of a grip as you'd like it to be, but it's in there.
All right, and I'm going to secure it on our side so Roach can get his way back to our ship.
While Tiny's doing that, he's still injured, right? He's still been hurt?
I've only taken armor damage. I've not taken any physical damage.
Okay.
Oh, right, armor.
Yeah.
Everybody
Forgot
has
that-
the option to have armor.
That's right, I have that. Oops.
Yeah, so armor, you take damage to armor before you take it to health.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I guess what I do is I go to the front of the ship and I use my own spyglass to have a look out at what the storm's doing and what the ocean's doing and what our current trajectory is taking us to.
Go ahead and give me a roll plus wits.
Okay. 11. Actually, 12 because of the +1.
This storm was a lot worse than you initially anticipated. It is a heavy maelstrom, just kind of like whipping around. So thick are the rains ahead of you that even when lightning cracks down to the ocean below, you cannot see the lightning through the sheets of rain.
The ocean is testing us. Only the worthy will survive. Sorry, Roach.
What? Get here, all the way down here!
Jones, have you acted?
Was this the same turn that Davey bit the fingers of the guys?
That was last turn.
That was last turn. Okay, so Roach is on another ship. He's not long for this world. He will be missed. And there's nothing else attached to our ship, correct? We've cleared that out.
Yeah, the other ship is currently being tossed about by waves, nearly capsizing on every one of these massive waves that your ship is just kind of like bludgeoning itself through. You hear the bell on the anchor giving a mighty kong kong every time your ship is like dragged up into the air.
Okay, and Tiny threw his harpoon. Now Tiny's harpoon hit, right?
Yes, it is lodged in the other ship, the one that Roach is currently on. But it does not look like it's solidly in there. Roach is going to have to act pretty quickly to get off.
Okay. I'm going to have Davey fly over and just kind of like sit next to Roach. And in a perfect mimicry, Davey's gonna go, "Come on, Jonesy!" and is gonna like fly over towards the harpoon and kind of hover there.
All right.
I don't know-
Davey!
I don't know if there's a help action or not in this, but I don't know what else to do.
Give me a roll plus wits, or a roll plus charm.
wit. Okay. Ah, 6. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, he's able to be pointed in the right direction, but you're not able to give him any assistance in that regard.
Okay, that's fine.
Davey, you came back for me!
Davey's fluttering on the harpoon right now. What do?
That's it for me.
As another
That's all I'll
massive
do.
wave just launches this sloop into the air, you can feel your feet not wanting to stay on the ground, and that harpoon is starting to jostle loose.
Okay. On this sloop, is there an anchor?
Yes, there is. You are currently in free fall.
Oh. In that case, I'm gonna go for the rope.
All right, give me a
I'm-
roll plus wits to just try to make your way over to that harpoon.
Okay. I was gonna drop anchor and then leave, but seeing as how the situation has changed, I'm just gonna grab the rope, get back to me, mates. And it's gonna be all dandy, randy dandy-o, 7.
All right, as the harpoon kind of like jostles free, Davey flutters up off of it, realizing, oh shit, this is a bad place to be. You dive for the harpoon, grab it. As the ship plummets back down to the ocean, you can hear wood splintering as it lands. And you can see it just kind of like turn after, like you can see it turn just kind of portward as like these waves start swallowing it up. The other ship that you were, that was in pursuit of you, being carried away by these waves, tossed about and broken to bits upon the sheer surface. As you hold on for dear life, slam! You are cracked onto the side of the ship and you black out.
Owie!
Tiny, go ahead and give me a roll plus body.
Okay, come on, roll 20.
Oh,
my God.
What is happening?
I'm seriously signing up for like a fucking Fantasy Grounds account right now. I swear to God.
No. Not fantasy
Fucking-
grounds. More like fart grounds. Ooh.
Oh no.
So, as you attempt to like pull the harpoon up, it gets caught on something on the side of the ship.
Mm-hmm.
As the storm begins to twist and pull and throw the boat about, you can hear some of the ship's own. You can hear some of your own ships start to kind of like splinter about in these dangerous, weathered seas. Roach, you are basically like kind of like stuck. Your clothing is like from the tip of the harpoon, that little hooked edge. As you begin to kind of like regain consciousness from like the water of the waves just splashing you in the face.
No, I
As
don't
you're
want any.
coughing up water. The harpoon that's stuck to the side of the ship, the corner of that hooked edge of the harpoon is the only thing pinning your coat to this ship. As you realize you were looking at the violent shark-infested waters beneath you.
Just starts clawing and scrambling to like get a foothold anywhere on the side of the ship in order to climb up. I'll pull out my knife and try to like tear myself loose from the harpoon and just climb up the side of the ship if I have to.
The harpoon currently is the only thing keeping you attached to the ship, but go ahead and give me a roll plus body to try to scramble your way over to like any
Jesus.
form of opening. Or you can
Well,
decide another course
is-
of action that
where is the rope is still attached to the side of the ship from the harpoon, right?
the rope is in Tiny's hands. You're not really positive on that one. But go ahead and give me a roll plus wits real quick, just to kind of like give you
Okay.
situational awareness around you.
Eight.
All right, it's very hard to get your bearings, but around you, you do see that the other harpoons that were thrown from that sloop that you just left, that you now see is been tossed all the way upside down and is sinking into the water behind you. The other harpoons are around you. There are a few within arm's reach of you that you could probably use to try to hoist yourself up.
Yeah, I'm going to do that.
All right, you're able to like reach out and get a grip on one.
All right, come on. Just need you to come to your pal.
But you are going to need to make a roll plus body to do this successfully on your own.
Okay.
I believe.
Come on, roll 20. You got it. You got to be nice at least once.
a 10.
There you go.
Yay!
Minus one, that's a 10.
As you reach out, you grab on, just like pull yourself up, reach yourself up over the corner, pull yourself back up onto the deck as the ship is being tossed about. Luckily, somehow, just with like a sheer stroke of luck, the momentum of your ship going up against a wave helps you lurch your way back up and pull yourself up onto deck.
Thought I was gonna.
As your ship continues to get sucked and pulled into this maelstrom, you no longer see anything behind you. The two ships that were tailing you have been claimed by the sea, as everything around you is nothing but storm and rain and lightning. The captain calls out, "Aggressors have been dispatched! Man the sails!"
We didn't
What?
get much of that.
Oh, sorry. Whenever I yell, God damn it, Discord, stop cutting me out. The captain's yelling out basically for everybody to man the sails. We need action right now because this storm might take us if we don't.
I'm gonna have Davey go under my coat just because of how crazy the weather is, and I'm gonna start helping with rigging.
All right, I want everybody to give me a doctor. What are you going to choose to do? There are still some injured people here that you can drag down to treat.
Sure, I will accommodate the injured and as best I can with my creepy bedside manner, and I will lure them under decks to my lair.
You start dragging Mr. Williamson back down.
Round two.
Tiny, go ahead and give me a roll plus body to assist with trimming the sails and making things go well.
Okay. That's a 10.
Woo!
This time, under proper instruction, you were able to trim the sails properly in order for the ship not to immediately be thrown about in this violent maelstrom.
Tiny's gonna swat Roach on the back happily as he retrieves his harpoon. Yeah, you made it back. Good job. And he's gonna trim the sails.
As he slap him, he just barfs.
Ugh. You didn't watch that. The Oogies will get you. And he walks off.
What?
Through the
Where were
wind
the
and-
Oogies? No, wait, come back!
Through the wind and rocky waters ahead, your ship manages to hold and stay true, passing through the storm. And just as we will see on the other side of a break, we will see this ship on the other side of the storm. Hey guys, Lani here. I just wanted to thank you for rolling with us. And if you wanted to catch us live, you can do so almost every Monday at 5 o'clock Central Time over on twitch.tv/LaniPator. Now, back to the show. All night, you brave the storm. And finally, when everything clears, it's basically dawn the next day. The captain finally having a moment to rest. Everybody finally having a moment just to calm down. There were so many of them. I've never seen an attack like that before. And all we're carrying is supplies for whalers.
You, have many enemies, Captain?
None like that. None that'd be so keen to chase me down in a bleeding man of war. I don't know if they were just looking for a resupply or a easy catch, but we showed them what for, I say. Now I just need to figure out where the bloody hell we are.
How's the wind right now? Is it tamer now, or is it still pretty?
It's much calmer.
All right, I'm gonna scramble up back to the crow's nest where I belong, and I'm gonna look around and see what I can see.
Take a look around the horizon. Go ahead and give me a roll plus wits.
Roll plus wits. Boom. 4.
Your eyes are still kind of bleary from everything that's been happening. You're having a hard time focusing. You're honestly just like very tired after all night helping trim the sails and making sure that people aren't getting washed overboard. So you're having a hard time focusing on the horizon with the bright sun glinting off of the waters.
Still have a headache from banging my head on the mast too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. I'm just gonna stay up there. I look around and I don't know. I can't really help at this point.
Davey flutters down on top of your head and just kind of shades your eyes with his wings.
Oh, I pet him. What a good boy.
The doctor emerges from beneath deck and says,
Well, the screaming stopped and then started again after they realized what I was doing, and then it stopped again. So I think everything...
Give me a roll plus smarts.
Okay.
Is that good?
It
14.
all went according to plan. Everything went according to your plans, whatever they were.
Author's note, Keikaku means plan.
What?
Nothing.
Hey, Joe. I'll sort of slowly jog up to Dr. Lazarus.
Hello?
Hey, sort of pupils dilating again when he sees him. Just oh, maybe this is a bad idea.
You can
swallow.
stand a few feet back if you like.
No, I think I'll do that. Thank you. Just wanted to say, I know we're all rough and tumble pirates and stuff like that, but thank you for trying to give me a pep talk back there.
Well,
Appreciate it.
I could tell you had lost your nerve, and if there's one thing I'm familiar with, it's nerves. Because I'm a doctor.
Yeah, no, just wanted to say thank you. There you go. All right, bye-bye.
Oh my god. It's like heavy weapons guy, ha, ha, ha.
I'm not scared. I'm scared by no man, but that thing.
It scares me.
He holds up one flippery hand and says,
Yes, I suppose I am a bit unnerving at times, but I'm only here to help. Wherever it is the ocean has taken us, I can assure all of you it is for a reason. I myself have been taken to many distant parts of the ocean without necessarily knowing which way I'm going or why for, but I have always ended up in the right place. And I do believe that with all of you, I am in the right place.
No, it seems like that. He sort of looks at the crab claw. Look like you might have been places.
Oh yes, I have been places.
Right. I'm gonna leave you to your business. I'm gonna get out of your hair. Gotta go talk to Tiny.
I can assure you their conversation is not quite as illuminating as mine, but do indulge yourself.
No. Okay.
Everybody like who's on the crew just seems like very frayed and like, you know, they're dealing with a bunch of like post-traumatic stress at the moment after dealing with that storm and the ships.
Well, the doctor takes a look at all of them, and he stands somewhat in the center of the deck and says,
I understand we've all been through a harrowing experience, but I want to assure you there is a light at the end of the tunnel. I myself once found myself stranded by myself in an abandoned city, long considered myth, and I was set upon by a number of creatures from beneath the ocean, and I still was able to find my wits and my strength enough to survive that and prove myself worthy of living. We will all survive this and prove ourselves worthy to those who dwell beneath.
Right, yells the captain. Anybody see those shapes off starboard there? He kind of like points out to the distance, trying to sway the conversation.
Tiny looks immediately to the port.
I was gonna add on with Davey. Davey would have landed on the shoulder of the doctor and go, and the exact same always go, "Oh, great old ones," just to, you know.
Just to emphasize.
Yeah, just to emphasize.
Right. One of them's over there. Points the captain. Anybody like to roll plus wits?
I've already made
Sure.
my roll. Looks towards Roach.
After Tiny gets turned by another crewmate, he gets an 8.
You see some flotsam floating in the water, and some dark ships kind of, or some dark shapes on the horizon. Same with you. Oh, wait, no, that's not. Is that a 10 you got there? Connor?
I was muted too. Yes, that's a 10.
Alright. Yeah, sure enough, there seems to be some like shipwreck flotsam just kind of like floating out in the water. Seems like it's been out here for a while, but out in the distance, as you pull out your spyglass and get a closer look, there are it appears to be like an archipelago, just like a series of small islands out in the distance, and very faintly you can see the wisps of a wisp of smoke licking out from one.
I see one of them there archipelagos, and looks like smoke.
Smoke on the water, you say? A fire in the sky? Perhaps.
We call it the sun, the captain says as he steps by you.
Right, that.
That's the yellow one, right?
Survivor from a shipwreck. Might be grateful to have a rescue. But you lot been in enough danger, I'll let you decide. Oh.
Did we lose anyone?
As far as attendance goes, no, you have everybody, including your albino helmsman, one, Eric Laveau, who's usually wears this very long, wide-brimmed hat. It got blown away in the storm, so he has this like massive shock of like white hair just kind of like spewing about. His eyes just wide and like deranged at the moment from everything that he had to deal with.
So yes, we did lose someone. We lost a hat, a very cool looking hat.
We lost a cool hat.
But all bodies are accounted for, I can assure you.
Maybe we can, I don't know, go over, see if they want to pay us for a rescue.
Maybe they
The
know
ocean
something
has
too.
fed them.
I like the way you think. The captain just kind of like slaps you on the back. All right, Mr. Jasper, have him take us around. I'm gonna go rest my eyes.
I pick myself up off the floor after he slaps me. Right. Okay. Towards that smoke. Let's see if we can find out where we are.
You direct the ship towards the land as you pull closer and closer. The island appears to be like a small, almost like jungle island that you're pulling up towards that seems to have smoke spilling out the middle of it. You get close enough in that it's time to weigh anchor. And it takes you like a couple hours to do this. People get some rest here and there. They take some naps. As the captain pulls out, when you start weighing, you go to wake the captain as you start to weigh anchor. All right. Let's see. He looks about the crew. Jones, Fletcher, Sullivan, Lazarus.
Yes.
You four go ashore, see if you can find the survivor. Rest of us will stay here and make sure everything's ship shape. Doctor, you can go in case anybody gets injured or is injured.
All right, I'll get my womp stick.
You do that, Sullivan. Men from below deck start hoisting out the, hoisting from beneath deck the away ship. A little rowboat. You guys start making your way to shore.
Yeah, just carefully.
Bringing medical supplies with.
Yep. Alright.
I'm probably doing the rowing if there's a rowboat.
Yeah, go ahead and give me a roll plus body, see how well this goes for you.
Okay,
We're just gonna be roll really bad. We'll just start going in circles.
that is a 10.
Hey.
With the smooth precision of a college rowing team, something that I still don't really understand why exists, you start pulling your way towards the shore. You get it up on the beach very easily and just kind of like drag it to a position. And in front of you lays a fairly thick forest, and there is a lot of shipwreck debris on this beach. Some of it looks like there are like trails that have been dragged back. It's hard to say how long this stuff has been here.
This wouldn't be from the sloops we encountered, I suppose.
You can go ahead and give me a roll plus smarts.
Roll plus smarts. One sec here. Bloop. 11.
The debris is far too old and weathered for it to have been so recent.
Oh, this looks like it's been here for some time.
Yeah, I was going to say, they was a bit further back than we were.
Is there any sign of like animals or anything?
Give me a roll plus wits.
Okay. 8.
You can hear the chirping and cawing of some tropical birds around here. There are various tracks in the near jungle sand that looks like they might have come from pigs, maybe.
Okay.
So there's definitely wildlife around.
What do you think, Jonesy?
I have Davey fly over to Roach's shoulder, and it makes like a pig noise, and then like kind of like a kind of like bird noise.
Birds? But what's that? African cray? No.
I just shoot Roach like a really now we're gonna like.
Sorry. Still rattled. Right. pigs. I haven't eaten pork in ages. I would really... who wants a wild hog?
Have you
Oh,
ever
long?
tried long pig?
Long pig? Is that...
Yeah.
You messing with me?
No, why would I do that ever?
So long pig, what is it?
Martin, does the doctor blink one eye at a time?
He does now.
He sees you do that, and he sort of tries to mimic it. Like, how does he? It feels weird when he do that.
Well, let's just say I haven't gotten any shut eye of my own for a long time.
No, fair enough. I'm probably just seeing it anyway. Let's long pig. What's that?
It's an acquired taste. Maybe we'll have some on the boat sometime, depending on how this goes.
All right, I'm willing to try anything once, I guess. Unless
I
it's
do a
dying.
mimic. I pretend to like cough because I don't make noise, but I kind of like pantomime coughing, and then I nod towards Davey, and Davey goes perfectly in Roach's voice. Looks like smoke.
Right, back on track. No, you're right, Jonesy. Tiny.
He's wandered over to a tree, and he's trying to pull the tree down to get to the fruit at the end of the tree.
Give me a roll plus body.
He just stares.
10.
Wow.
It's a relatively young palm coconut tree, so you're able to just kind of like reach up and like bend it down. As you're like pulling it down, you reach to the end of a coconut and plunk, just plop it right off. You let go of the tree and it whoosh, 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 back and forth.
Does anything else fly off at the end of the tree?
A few other coconuts that were on there just fly off into the forest.
Oh, I can't wait for that to be a story point later on.
Oh.
Yeah, Tiny looks over. Yeah?
They hit a demon as he's flying in the air.
Yeah, Jeff the Ascended is really
Yeah.
pissed off now.
Jeff the
Gets nailed with-
Ascendant.
Gets nailed with a coconut right after as well, yeah.
Motherfucker! Alright.
How did I end up here? With you people.
I'm just guessing Tiny's trying to eat the big fucking green coconut like an apple.
Yeah.
Sullivan, hang on.
Chewing straight through the gristle of the coconut leaves. Or the
You
husk.
want to eat a coconut, right? You crack it open with something, right? And I'll pull out my knife and I'll...
Can I headbutt the coconut?
Oh my god.
Give me a roll plus body.
Oh my god.
I'm like about to strike the coconut with my knife and...
So you rip open the husk of the coconut with your teeth and like reveal the little brown coconut on the inside that has stuff. And then you just kind of like take it in your hands as Sullivan or as Roach is pulling out a knife, and you just bonk, crack your head against it and split it open like an egg.
What
That
a
works too.
remarkable specimen of a man you are, Tiny.
Yeah, he's blue too. That's crazy.
Yeah. Ain't always used to be like this.
I
Turned
hope
blue when I worked in the silver mines.
It's a good thing I like gold better. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, now that we're all fit, let's go see about seeing about that smoke. I'm just gonna...
Nice.
Yeah.
You guys start making your way into the forest towards where the plume of smoke is very visible. Each of you can go ahead and give me a roll plus wits just in terms of navigation. You have a compass and a spyglass, so it should be
10.
9.
6.
12.
Nice.
sure enough. Between Jones and between Jones and Roach, it's easy enough to find your way back there, and you find your way. It's not even horrifically far in because it looks like they've been kind of cutting a trail to and from the shoreline, probably in terms of getting food or access to anything that might be on the coast there. You find what appears to be an fairly well-furnished camp made out of like drift debris and lean made out of like kind of a canopy made out of like the canvas from an old sail, and the fire directly in the middle is kind of like catching like fire in the middle of the camp is going around the sail, and the smoke is going into the sky. Looks fairly well lived. There's a hammock strewn up, a second hammock, so at least 2 people stay here.
There's no people around.
Not at the moment. It looks like, while the fire does, give me a roll plus wits.
Okay. Oh, awful. 5.
You're not familiar with how long fires might be burning, but how long the fire might have been burning, but you're guessing, it had to have been started today at some point, so somebody must be around.
It's all right, everyone. Goldie here is a tracking goldfish.
And the doctor taps the goldfish bowl on his shoulder.
Tell us where the residents of this area have gone, Goldie.
And the goldfish just sort of bobs to and fro, oblivious to everything he's saying.
The goldfish. You hear the goldfish's voice in your ears as you are able to speak fish language.
Yes.
What?
That he told multilingual, and he chose fish language. So yeah, he speaks fish. The fish just says, "Goldie, is that my name?"
Yes,
Where
it's a
are we?
play on goldfish. We're in unknown, uncharted waters, and I'm not quite sure exactly what we're looking for, but there's bound to be some fun to be had.
He spins around. Okay. Just kind of like spins around the bowl. Oh, hello. With the memory of the
Hello.
goldfish.
Well, he seems to be having some trouble.
Is it dead?
No, it's very alive.
Huh.
It's a very good friend of mine that I keep meeting many times over.
Hello.
Must be nice.
You hear some jostling from down the forest. Hold it. And you see like the shape of a human like traipsing out holding what appears to be like just kind of like a pile of fruit in his hands. No fucking way. A man with like long wild red hair, freckles, and a very patchy red beard, clothing that is incredibly torn, worn, and soiled, drapes across his body. Looks to be like old naval uniform. Please tell me this ain't the madness and that you're real.
Well,
I'm very real.
It's some form of madness, but we are real, yes.
Oh my
I know.
God, they finally came. Oh, I've been out here for... How long have I been out here? What year is it?
What year is it, God?
You say current year.
It's
I don't
current
know.
year.
It's current year.
Third year.
Current year.
It's the year of the pirate. Hooray.
I've
It's
been
the
out
year
here
of the
for a
pirate.
bloody... I've been out here for a whole damn year. Oh my God. Oh, Keith is gonna freak out when he sees you.
Keith?
Yeah, me mate.
I point towards the second bed, and then I look as I'm looking at Roach. I point towards the second bed and just stare at him.
Oh. I was confused. We have a Keith too, actually.
Do you? Oh,
That's
small,
a rock coincidence.
small
that is.
fucking world. He'd stayed back in the cave just to look at some stuff, but... Come on, we'll go get him, and then you got a ship, right? You didn't wash up here.
Yeah, no, we got a ship, yeah.
Thank fucking God.
We're privateers.
I was a navyman myself.
Can I insight this guy just to see if he's being like honest with us?
You actually don't have to, because one thing that Tiny is really good at is he's a good judge of character. He looks at this man, and he's telling the truth, but there is something off about like what he's saying. Like he's like there's something off about that statement.
He ain't lying, but it's like he ain't telling the whole truth neither.
Well, you know how it goes. You know, sometimes you're out there, you're doing the thing, and sometimes a bit more calls from duty than you think it would. But you should come meet Keith. Come on. He starts
Just
like
be mindful.
He starts traipsing back into the jungle.
Flint
Be
looks to the
mindful.
other.
We don't know what manner of diseases he might be carrying.
Oh yeah, need to get reminded of that. He sort of walks over to like a pond or something, and he just sort of scrubs his hands really good.
That'll do it.
Yeah.
You wash your hands in a small basin.
Okay.
I'll stand a few feet further away from him than you guys, so that if you do catch a disease, I get to study all of you, rather than study myself, which is a whole ordeal, as I'm sure you're aware.
Davey responds with, in Snake Eye's voice, observations.
Yes.
At least I know I'll be in good. He looks down at the crab claw. He just stops and turns around.
So ahead of you, like just being very chatty. Hey, my name's Bartleby. Bartleby Orion.
Bartleby Orion?
I wasn't technically a part of the Navy, but I was part of their, like, I was in expeditionary services, you know, searching around looking for cool stuff. And, oh boy, I thought I found something like real cool out this way, but the storms, they did a number on my ship. And old Keith's been keeping me good company, though.
What did you think you'd found?
He kind of turns around. What do you lot know of sea monsters?
I immediately,
doctor.
like, slow turn towards the doctor, and sweat begins to just, like, a single sweat drop running down the brow.
I think
I-
we're all looking at the doctor right now.
I may
know they're
have
not
some
real.
experience. Wait,
I
what
bet
was
you
that?
do.
Did
Giant
somebody
sea
say
monster.
they're not real?
Yeah, they
Some
can't
would
be
say-
real.
Some would
Too
say,
scary.
some would lie.
Yes, they would be fools to believe that the human race is the dominant species of the planet. As we all know, the great old ones are waiting to reclaim their home that we have been intruding upon.
I don't
So
know much
yes,
about no
they
old
are
ones.
quite real.
I don't know much about no old ones, but, well, I do know a thing or two about the Plunder Beast.
Of course, we're the dominant species. We're the only ones who wear clothes.
Can't argue
Except
with
for
that
monkeys.
logic.
You can dress up a monkey. That's pretty funny sometimes.
The old Plunder Beast, I think it makes its nest out this way, he says, like, nearly ignoring you. Takes down ships, takes their plunder, hoards it for itself. See,
But you said that it wasn't here, you didn't find it.
well, it happens to dwell in an underwater cave that I happen to not be able to swim down to my own lonesome self. Keith is great at dealing with underwater stuff, but not much of a talker. Can't really give me much information on that front. Oh, there's a cave right over there. He starts leading you into this cave where he left Keith. Keith!
Jonesy nods in kindred spirit, just like, I understand.
You bleeding lout! Get out here! Where are you at, Keith? As he starts walking into the cave.
Should we go in there with him, or should we let him bring Keith to us?
Yeah, I'm gonna go in. Worst case scenario, they catch the womp stick. And I wander in.
This smacks of something funny. But you know what? I'm just going to stay behind Sullivan, and hopefully everything will be okay.
I'm gonna press my hand on the back of Roach. I'm gonna gently push him forward, just so he doesn't try to skirt away from this one.
No.
Womp sticks at the ready, gentlemen.
Yeah, whoop, stick at the ready.
Other hand on the pistol at my side.
Yeah, I just have a knife in both hands, a dagger.
As you walk into the cavern, you can hear his voice echoing ahead. Keith! Keith! Oh, there you are, you lazy sod! Get up! You make your way around a corner. It's a little dark in here, but you can see kind of like the flickering of a torchlight coming from around the corner up ahead. Oh, don't just lay there like that! Come on! As you approach around the corner, you can see Mr. Bartleby Orion here talking to a skeleton that's laying across a few rocks.
Oh, great.
Oh, now you're trying to make me look stupid now, are you? Come on, get up. He's not usually like this, I promise.
Slow turn to Jones, just...
Davey whispers back in Snake Eyes' voice. I've been writing down what things you guys have been saying, by the way. I'm not taking this for nothing. Davey turns towards Roach and goes, "No, it's very alive." And Jonesy just gives him this like fuck like expression, just staring right at Roach, just like, oh no.
Don't mind him, he's
just
being a
goes
bit of
full
a shit.
poker face.
I have the symptomatic sleuth perk, which means I can try and determine the cause of death.
Go for it.
All right, let's see. Okay, I can. If the result is a 6 or lower, the result is instead treated as a 7. So,
All
okay,
right.
let me roll here.
Is he sick? No? Can you fix him?
I got a 12.
I mean, of course he's not sick, he's fucking dead, but he's no reason for him to be lying about like this.
I got a 12 on the roll.
It is in fact a skeleton. There are no particular fractures in these bones, no slices or anything that would lead you to believe that he died of any sort of violent means. Unfortunately, it being a skeleton, the most you can determine from that is that its death was not caused from violence.
Well, Mr. Orion, being a doctor, it is my unfortunate role to have to tell you that your friend Keith has passed on.
Yeah, he knows that too, but it's no reason for him just to be sitting about. Get the fuck up, Keith! He always does this. He's trying to make me look like an asshole in front of you, I promise.
I turn to Sullivan. Oh yeah, he'll fit right in. Oh no.
I'll take your fucking femur. I'll do it. I'll throw it down that way. And then what you fucking do? The skeleton the skeleton actually sits up and just like waves its hands like, woo! There you fucking go.
Remarkable.
Flint just completely loses his knife somewhere. Just throws it to the ceiling.
Clank, 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 clank.
Just
Davey screams out, "No, it's very alive!"
Death grip on Jones right now. Just
responding, like grabbing back too.
I will pick up Roach so he can't run away.
Bartleby looks back towards back towards this reaction. Oh right. This is probably strange to you. Forget.
I don't know about that.
what the fuck?
The doctor taps the goldfish bowl.
Does it seem strange to you, Goldie?
Did you fix him?
Goldie, does what seem strange? Oh hi.
Oh, never mind.
Keith like shambles up to its feet. Like you can hear the rattling and creaking of the bones as it does so. So, Keith died when we got here, and I bound his soul to his bones, so I wouldn't be lonely. Keith just like looks over to him and just stares at him. I mean, he's a skeleton; he can't move any of his bones.
Oh, okay, so two crewmates. That'll be good.
Ain't none of you come across none of these. None of you come across fancy artifacts in your journeys.
Well, I
I mean, I got
myself, I myself have the eye of a giant squid on top of my cane here, encased in glass, and it gives me the ability to commune with the underwater beings. That's about as close to an artifact as I have.
I've got a lucky coin on my neck.
I got a womp stick. It lets me womp things real good.
Hey, y'all got fancy things too. I just happen to have the dead man's chest. In this case, it's got Keith's heart in it.
The bloody what?
He pulls out this like 2-fist-sized box from a pouch on his side. It's got Keith's heart right in here and keeps him bound to his bones.
Fascinating. May I ask, when you put his heart in there, did you need to retrieve it from the body?
Yeah, I mean, ain't no other way to get it, really.
So you performed search.
He was very dead by the time I did it, so don't worry. It wasn't like straight up murder.
Oh, phew! Thank goodness!
I just wanted to make sure that was clear.
Davey responds exactly in Roach's voice. What the fuck?
So?
Anyway, Keith's been able to get down into the lair of the Plunder beast, but as luck would have it, doesn't really have much to say when he comes back. Doesn't have a tongue.
Interesting. Perhaps
I'm
we
pretty
could
sure
provide.
it's there.
Is the solution to this conundrum, I assume, would either be provide Keith with a tongue, or send someone down to the lair of the Plunder Beast who does have a tongue.
Yeah, the big problem there is making it down to that part of the ocean with, enough air to get into the cave and see it yourself and not drown like Keith did originally. Originally, he kind of just gestures his hands toward Keith, who's just sitting there with his hands on his hip bones.
Can Keith hear us?
I mean, yeah.
Can Keith, can you write? Are you literate?
Keith just kind of looks down and, begrudgingly shakes his head. He weren't much for learning when he was alive.
No, that's okay. I can't read. I just remembered that.
Keith, would it be possible? No, I've lost my train of thought, sorry.
I want
Me
everybody
too.
to give me a roll plus smarts.
Here I go.
I got a 10.
A 10 is sufficient for this.
8.
I got a 10 as well.
All right. It was a small piece of information I dropped very early.
Wait, no, that's a
on.
9.
So-
That's a 9.
5.
Smart is 0.
Yeah, it's a small piece of information I dropped very early on, but at the end of the anchor, or on the anchor, nestled around the anchor, is a bell on your ship, specifically a diving bell.
Oh.
We could send one person down there using the diving bell.
You could probably all fit in the bell, honestly.
We could probably all fit in the bell.
Damn it!
It's a big enough anchor for a brigantine, so it's a pretty big bell.
Well, if it's gold, I mean, I've done stupider things for gold.
Hi,
I
enough
think.
gold for, I don't know, how many you got on your crew?
Oh, well, there's Arkeef. We have one of those as well. We've got a captain.
See, Keith, you ain't
We got.
Tiny counts as 2 people, but Roach counts as half a person, so it evens out.
I just realised I can't count either.
Davey
way,
just
I'm pretty certain he's more-
starts laughing, and
Hey!
Jones is like,
It's not funny.
Whatever the
You know,
plunder
some of us
beast
don't have
got
access to education, you know?
Either way, whatever the plunder beast got down there, it's more than enough for any of you to retire in riches for the rest of your days.
I like that.
Don't have to learn how to read if I do that.
Exactly.
I could give the riches to the elder gods and they would bless me with the ability to transform into a fish.
You can do
Sure.
that, sure.
in Tiny's voice, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think
Yeah.
Yeah.
you think your captain would be amenable to that?
Well, I mean, we'd have to talk to him first, I think.
Yes, I suppose we must.
Well, let's do it.
Oh, I
Okay.
can't wait to see his face when Keith walks on the deck.
All right, let's just
Wait, hang on. Can I side conversation with my crew?
Sure, I'll sit
Guys.
back here and just talk to Keith.
Guys, we're all very excited about the treasure that is underwater that we could go down and get from this plunder beast, supposing it does exist. But
Yeah.
the dead man's chest is a much greater treasure. It allows you to reanimate the dead. Think of the value it has, not just as a piece in a museum, but as a magical artifact.
Yeah.
We could just take it from this harmless gentleman.
You look over to him. See, Keith, when people show up, you don't just start lying around like bones. You make me look like a total ass.
But
Jones kind of makes his face like, I don't know, like a kind of like a like not a very confident looking sort of visage.
you know, I admire the ambition, but I did not live to the ripe old age of 22 to doing stupid things like this and messing with artifacts and magic and stuff like that.
Right back in Roach's voice, Davey goes, I've done stupider things for gold.
No, you're right.
But why don't we get like the gold first, then get the chest?
Yes, I suppose there's no reason we can't do both.
Because being like not able to die sounds pretty good.
It does sound pretty good, you're right. Seems like a solid call.
We could
Yeah.
sell immortality to the highest buyer.
Yeah.
Or we could
Alright.
become immortal. Are you not thinking about that? Think about riches are temporary, but if you could have eternal life,
Not dying and not being afraid of dying. would be
Roach,
pretty
think of the
nice.
value. You almost died like 5 times back there.
Oh, I've almost died more than 5 times in my short life.
I'm speaking in the past 12 hours.
You know what? This deal is sweetening the more and more we think about it.
Yeah.
I don't know if what you're doing could be considered thinking, but yes.
But do I have to cut out my heart? It sounds kind of painful and scary.
We'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
Okay.
I mean, I can give you the womp stick, and you won't know it when the doctor does it.
I think that's worse.
Trust me, it could
Well-
be far, far worse.
I'm not going to imagine that. Right.
Yes,
so
you are.
we telling the captain about this, or are we?
We could tell the captain about the treasure, but why don't we keep the dead man's chest secret to ourselves?
Okay.
I point towards the skeleton, the clearly alive skeleton, and I just give the doctor a look, and Davey says, "No, it's very alive." In Snake Eyes' voice. And I just kind of look
I'm
like,
gonna-
how do we explain this? Like, how are we going to explain this?
We don't have to bring the skeleton along with us. We can just go back to the ship and say, hey, there's some treasure underwater. Let's bring the diving bell.
Okay. Then let's do that, and we'll keep the dead man's chest a secret for now.
Yes.
Bartleby notices you all like look back towards him. Are you finished with your aside?
Oh, yes, we're quite done, yes. We're going to go back to our crew and bring the good news to them.
Oh, can I come too? I really don't want to be left here anymore.
I don't see why not.
All right, let's go, Keith.
No,
And
Keith
Bartleby
can
and
stay.
Keith just kind of like looks left, looks right. Cocks his head a little.
We might need to butter up the crew a bit before we bring a skelly on board.
Right. That makes sense. Makes sense. All right, Keith. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna go to the ship. And Keith grabs him by the collar. I'm not going to leave you. I'm not leaving you. Just simply need to let them know that a skeleton might be coming aboard.
Does
A skeleton that can help us get lots of riches, and they aren't
Does
going to leave
Keith
you.
look like he grabs him with particularly great strength?
It looks like it would be like about the average human's grip.
Okay.
So whatever magic is animating these bones gives it like a little bit of oomph.
Okay.
Okay.
Is the skeleton buff is what he's asking. Is the skeleton ripped? Is he shredded? Has he been drinking nothing but
He
milk
is so
for, like...
shredded, 0.00% body fat on this skeleton.
Damn!
Yeah.
I've heard it. I've heard it's got a
Okay.
sick ribs.
We've been together for a full year. I ain't just leaving you. All right? Okay. Kind of like brushes like the hand off. You can wait at Cap. It'll be easier to find that way. And when we show up, don't just be a fucking bag of bones there, mate. Just be cool. In front of our new friends.
Yes, be cool, Keith.
All right, let's go.
Right.
Lead the way.
Tell the captain. Let's go back to the ship.
All right, you guys make your way back to the ship, back to shore. The captain is very surprised when you bring aboard a raggedy ginger, and oh, nice ship you got here. It's a fine vessel.
Yep.
Once you're hauled back aboard, the captain is there just to kind of like greet you. So, this be the one that's shipwrecked out here. Survived all on your lonesome. Looks like you've been here for some time. Hi, I have. I got treasure.
I have
And I
Davey
know where it
speak
be.
I have Davey speak in Snake Eyes' voice and says, "Hey, there's some treasure underwater. Let's use the diving bell."
What that said? You got one of them bells. I can guide you towards it, and I got a mate back on shore. It's Keith. He's a little odd, but he'd be able to guide us to the treasure if we could go get it. If that's amenable.
Yeah, captain. Bit of a skinny guy. But you know, he's good lad.
Perfectly harmless.
Strictly bones.
No bones about it.
Not all bones,
some.
about it, really.
Yeah, maybe a little bit more than some. So, what do you think, Captain? We'll go down, get the treasure. Maybe take a little nice retirement trip in Tahiti.
Go
We'll
ahead,
grow
man.
mangoes.
The captain not expecting to hear much about treasure. Well, a little side trip can pay off that well. How could I say no?
Yeah, apparently it's the lair of something called a plunder beast.
Plunder beast.
Yeah, it's probably just some shark or something.
Old long tales as they are. All right, where be this cavern? Bartleby kind of like steps over to the front of the ship and just kind of like points. It's just off in that cove over there. If you can nestle her down. All right. Weigh anchor there, Sullivan.
I will go ahead and begin pulling up the anchor.
All right, give me a roll plus body.
Oh, God.
Okie doke. That is a 9.
You don't think much about it. You just kind of like grab for the chain and start pulling. Like you're not even using the crank. You're just legs against the ship, pulling at the chain. Fuck it, fine. And the ship slowly starts to lurch towards the area that you want to go. As you pull the whole ass diving bell out of the water, people start cranking in the slack so it doesn't just go falling back in.
At one point in time, he's just sitting there holding the actual anchor.
All right, when we weigh anchor, you lot are going to want to be in that thing. Because we don't want to hit that fucking cliff.
I suppose the four of us should just climb inside then, since we're the ones who did the reconnaissance.
This be your mission. Sounds about right to me.
Okay. Well, let's get on in then.
In Snake Eyes'
Treasure.
voice, Davey says, "We probably all fit."
Bartleby climbs in as well. It looks like there's plenty of room in here.
Doctor climbs in and turns to Goldie and says,
Well, now I know how you feel.
I'll get him as well.
Also, hi.
Hi. It's a very strange relationship we have, Goldie.
What relationship? Who's Goldie?
Well, I've had more rewarding conversations, I suppose.
As you get into the diving bell.
I set the anchor just right, just so that the group can push it overboard, and then I climb in the bell.
All right, each of you just kind of like hold on to the center point of the anchor to kind of like hold yourself within the diving bell as you as they let loose the anchor and you plunge into the depths. You begin sinking beneath the ocean. Probably about 10 meters past, your ears start to feel congested. Oh, right, we should probably grab Keith. He pulls out the dead man's chest, which begins to emanate this kind of, like, sickly purple glow. All right, buddy, come on. Get over here.
Roche just sort of, like, slides up towards the edge of the bell, just trying to get as far away from this purple light as possible.
The doctor hovers over the purple light like a firefly, well, like a fly attracted to an electric light.
Oh, yes, fascinating.
You continue downward. Starting to feel like your heads are starting to get like a little bit of an ache to them as you go down further and further. When finally the bell, the anchor touches soil, it drags a little before coming to a halt. And you can hear kind of rattling in the distance while your bodies start to adjust to this pressure. Clack, clack, clack. You see these bony fingers wrap around the bottom of the bell, and Keith's head pops up under it as the bones rattle. Oh, there he is. So, Keith, caverns that way, yeah, mate? It nods. All right. And you got some rope.
Yeah.
I pull out my rope too.
Pull out my rope.
All right, Keith. Here. take this and lead us to the cavern. Keith just like grabs the rope, nods, and starts walking into the water. He's a good feller. Should have met him when he was alive.
What was he like when he was alive?
Taciturn. So not much has changed, really.
What
Yeah.
does that mean?
Means he's a quiet sort.
Ah,
It's what we wish you would be.
Your be-birded friend. I think they know.
I nod. I'm like, yeah. It's just like,
yeah.
Oh, right, the bird.
I wonder how the bird is handling these pressures under the water and everything.
Seems uncomfortable, but it's adjusting.
the bird responds in tiny voice and goes, being able to not die seems really good.
See? The bug gets it.
How well can it hold its breath?
Well, I suppose we're going to find out.
You feel the rope tug a little bit. 3 tugs means he's in. Tug, tug, tug. All right, so it's less than 30 feet from here. Perfect. All right, let's wrap this around the anchor then.
Keep an eye out for that plunder beast in case it does come back. I wish to witness it.
Oh, might still be slumbering in there. Thing about sea monsters, they
So
have.
it's a slumber beast right now.
Yes, the plunder beast is the slumber beast. It's the thing about sea monsters. Reason they're so rare, they sleep a lot. All right, down I go. And Bartleby holds his breath and starts pulling himself along the rope. Leaving the rest of you in the diving bell.
All right, well. Age before beauty, I suppose.
The doctor holds his breath and also follows.
Yep, you can see ahead of you. It's kind of like dark beneath the waves down here, but you're able to pull yourself along.
I look towards Tiny. I look directly at you, Tiny, and then I point towards Roach, and I point down to the water, and then I look back at Tiny and I do like a punch, like if he doesn't go, beat him up.
Tiny gives a slow nod. Yeah. All right, Roach. Go on.
Oh, wait, you expect me to go down there?
Yeah.
Kid, you and I like sort of give him like a light little shoulder punch.
Yeah.
Kidding around with me.
No. Either you going or I'm dragging you.
What?
Go on.
What? You serious?
Tiny, give me a roll plus body.
Oh, that's 6.
He's actively like shoving away from you.
No, quit it!
No.
Come on, no!
No. You're going down there. You can't fill your pockets if you're here. Come on.
He holds his breath and he walks out.
Alright, start pulling yourself along the same rope.
All right, well,
Davey speaks in a bearable's voice and goes, there you go, you lazy sod.
Tiny will give the burb, Davey a head pats, and then he will go in and go after.
Okay, I'll go last.
Alright, you all start pulling yourself along the rope deep beneath the waters towards the gaping maw that is this underwater cavern. You hold your breath, just pulling yourself along this 30 feet of rope. You can see the shimmering of what appears to be the airline ahead of you as you pull yourself onto this rocky slope and make your way into a open air cave beneath these waters.
My poor waterlogged bird turns up to me and goes, come on, Jonesy. And I just pet him like, I'm sorry.
I double check that Goldie is okay.
Goldie's just swimming around. Oh, hi there.
Hi.
I'm curious, does Goldie stay in the bowl when he's underwater, or does Goldie emerge, swim beside him, and then go back in when they get ready to emerge?
Is the bowl open air? Like, does it have an open top?
I want to say that it's sealed somehow for this expedition in particular. Like he's
All
created
right,
some
yeah.
sort of cover for it.
There's a lid on it.
Okay.
Like, kind of like one of those little jarring lids that you can just like peel the thing back and it pops open.
Just like
Enough
tighten up.
that like if it gets jostled he wouldn't fall out, but he needs something to be able to open up to feed him. So you make your way into this open air underwater cave. The air in here is salty, murky. It has all of the feeling of like if you open your mouth and take seawater into it, but with like actual oxygen. There we go. And you can see Keith, the skeleton, standing by a rock, which he has attached the other end of the rope to, just waving. A little dark in here, but the glow of the dead man's chest is actually the only thing like really giving you any luminance in here.
Ooh, that's creepy.
Mr. Orion, do you mind if I hold the dead man's chest just because I'm just an innocent doctor? I'm not much for plundering. I could offer you all a source of light while you're doing your searching and your grabbing and all that.
Oh, nothing to fear there either. I'm not much for plundering neither. You and I are in the same boat. He kind of like elbows you friendly.
I put a hand on the good doctor, and Davey says, "We'll cross that bridge when we come to it." And Jones gives a little wink.
Alright.
Boat.
I guess we find our way back then, eh? Well, which way is it, Keith? Keith starts kind of like wandering into the darkness. Whoop, better keep up. As he uses the dead man's chest to light the way.
We follow the sound of clacking, I suppose, as his feet are presumably
the
making noise.
xylophone, the sound of the xylophone music.
You wander into the cave for a very eerie couple of minutes, as you can just hear like the echoes of water sort of like dripping about you. The ambience in this area is like dense and unnerving. A feeling that you haven't felt in a very long while, Doctor. It is a similar feeling to when you found yourself in that abandoned city. Something ancient resides here. You can just kind of feel it in the air.
I haven't felt this way for a long, long time. Not since I was set upon by those creatures on that expedition. I was the only survivor. I certainly hope that isn't going to be the case this time.
Hand on Roger's shoulder.
I mean, it's good for my hypothesis, at least. As you continue walking in, you all of a sudden hear a crunch under the feet of Jonesy. This tinkling crunch, this sound of metal and kind of glass kind of clattering next to each other.
Slow turn, look at my feet, and gently lift up the foot.
As you continue walking forward, the light from the dead man's chest begins to glitter off of piles of precious metals and gems that appear to start to litter the floor. What did I tell ya?
Yes, this would be quite a boon, wouldn't it?
We're gonna be bloody rich. I lean down and I pick one up and I bite it.
You bite into the gold. Your canine makes that nice divot that the soft gold metal would let it make. This is true gold.
It's real.
Yes, in which case the Plunder Beast is very real as well, gentlemen.
As you start to kind of like scrape up some of the gold, and as the doctor says that, you hear the gold shift, and you hear the subtle exhale of an ancient being, this
Yes. Speak to me. Speak to me.
Mid scoop, Roach just has like an expression of joy locked on him, but his eyes say pure terror.
you start taking as much of this and like putting it into these like plunder sacks that you brought with you. These big burlap sacks that you used to house grain.
Do they have dollar signs on them?
You took the time to try to etch it in charcoal, but it washed off in the water.
Bollocks.
Davey says in Roach's voice, "It's real," and just like Jones like looks very nervous and uncomfortable.
Mr. Orion, I have a question.
He's just kind of like staring into the darkness, as if his eyes are catching something that you're saying. Oh, yeah.
How did you say the Plunder Beast acquired the plunder?
By destroying ships and dragging them all down. It's also how it feeds.
So, it does this with its mouth?
Its mouths.
Mouths.
According to legend.
Mouths, says Davey nervously back.
Can you not see it? It's beautiful. He starts kind of like working his way back onto the gold, into this pile, this nest. You can kind of see from like the fringed edges this wiggly, like rubbery looking flesh kind of like curl around an ancient bronze statue. Looks like a tentacle.
Oh, Daddy, yes.
Tiny will lean down to Roach's ear. Yeah, time to go.
Wait. Bartleby holds out his hand. If this part of the legend's true, then the oceans, the heart of the ocean must be down here as well.
Okay, you know.
And the heart of the ocean is...
He points towards that eye at the end of your staff. That thing lets you talk to sea creatures.
Yes.
How would you like to command them?
Oh. You are speaking my language. And by my language, I mean not fish.
Goldie's just like, what?
For my blood.
It's down here, somewhere. My guess is the beast would hold it dear and close.
Okay, new plan.
He turns and looks at you. If you're not faint of heart, then you should turn back with your plunder while you can. But I came here for glory. To be the master of these oceans. As he's saying this, you see the tentacle kind of like unwrap around the statue. At the end of this tentacle looks to be a pair of pincers, almost like beetle pincers.
Oh!
As they prime up behind Bartleby. Keith just points. No, not now, Keith. Do you understand what this could mean for The tentacle starts to jut forward. Would anybody like to act?
Oh god. I'm shooting the tentacle with my gun.
I'll throw a harpoon at it.
Okay.
I do want to attempt to communicate with it, but presumably after the fighting.
Okay.
Do we want to let him? Actually, do we want to let him talk to it first, though, Tiny? Like, but does it seem like it's attacking?
Doctor, I would allow you to assuage them to not attack if you would truly wish to communicate.
Okay. The doctor holds his cane up with the squid eye atop, which is unblinking.
Okay, so I'm going to let this part play out first. As the tentacle lunges forward and wraps its two pincers around the neck of Bartleby, it raises him. It like basically pulls him back into the darkness. The dead man's chest clatters to the ground, its red light glowing where he once stood.
Hark! Great beast, great plunder beast of the ocean. We only wish to parley. We only wish to be granted of the gifts that you offer. We are but mere mortals in your glorious presence. And if you would allow us this one thing, this one boon, we would leave you be. You can take Bartleby. You can even take Keith. But please allow us...
Keith looks at you like, the fuck?
But please allow us to leave with a mere pittance of your riches.
In this deep, like, booming sound, you can kind of hear echoing around you. Almost like if a whale could growl is what this like utterance is coming across as.
I'm grabbing Tiny. I'm scared.
Roach is shitting bricks.
Goldie, did you get any of that?
In your ear, Doctor, what you hear is, to tread upon my realm, to sack upon my nest, you seek death. As Bartleby's body comes clack, 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 blip, 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 broken and beheaded across the treasure. Keith just looks down. Keith looks down and just kind of like crumbles into bones and just like lays still.
I turn to Tiny and my bird says, "Tiny smash!"
Did give us the okay?
Whereabouts did the dead man's chest land? Did we see?
It was at. You can see it. It's literally your only source of light.
Right. I suppose I just took my action, so everybody else should go.
Well, now we are entering combat. So now is where actual actions begin. So everybody, since this is a different type of combat, I need each of you to tell me what you want to do, and then we will resolve combat. You are currently facing a dark void and a sea creature that you cannot see.
We can't see it. Okay, shit. All right.
I'm going to tell the rest of the party to grab the chest, run, and I grab my womp stick. I'm willing to try to buy them time for them to get away.
How big is the chest itself? Like, how large was it again?
It's like if you hold both of your fists side to side, it's slightly bigger than that. Like it's
okay.
Like a little jewelry box. You could fit it in a satchel.
I will send Davey to grab that and hold it above us so that way we have light and also that it's with us.
Okay, go ahead and give me a roll plus charm for Davey.
Okay.
Donkey Kong.
Yeah. 10. Oh, thank God.
Davey will be able to manage this. All right, what is everybody else? As Tiny's like, everybody get the fuck out of here, and he brandishes his womp stick.
I'm gonna get the fuck out of here.
All right.
I'm going to chuck my dagger into the darkness against a wall in an effort to try and distract it with a noise while we run.
All right. I'm going to say while you're go ahead and roll plus body for your dagger. Just
okay.
For that.
Here we go. 6. I go -1 to my body.
As you hurl the dagger just like waywardly off anywhere into the darkness, you hear it just kind of like clatter and splat against the like the pile of riches in front of you. And I'm guessing you rip up one of the, like, you pick up whatever burlap sack you were stuffing stuff in and just start hauling
Oh,
ass.
yeah. Gotta make
Alright,
sure I get
now
something out
give
of
me-
this.
Then for that, give me a roll plus wits. As you run
Rolling.
back into the darkness to try to find your way back to the bell.
Excellent. Plus wits. This is gonna be 9.
Alright,
Nice.
you run into the darkness, just like hauling as much ass as you can. Doctor, what are you going to do?
The temptation is too great to either look upon this plunder beast, like and just see it in all its glory, or to find the heart of the ocean. So I'm going to attempt to press on and see if I can locate it.
Alright, give me a roll plus wits.
Okay. Seven.
All right, you in all of your, like, you know, just in all of your fascination, you step out of the light of the dead man's chest and walk into the darkness, facing God knows what. Okay, so the bird is currently holding the chest above you. Roach is hauling ass backwards, and Tiny is looking to make a last stand to give you all a chance to run. So that was one round of combat as the plunder beast, you can hear it kind of like trunching along the gold, like looking for a position to attack from, looking for possibly a meal or to defend itself. It is hard to say. As you are running into the darkness, Roach, you're trying to remember like which way you came from, and you like kind of like start tripping. You spill a bunch of the gold that's in your burlap sack as you try to like scramble back up. You lose a chunk of your money. All right, now what do?
So just to clarify, Snake Eyes is now like going towards the creature at the moment, or
Yes, with a demented look of fascination in his eyes. That's honestly not surprising to you.
yeah.
More specifically, I think I'm going towards the statue. Like I'm gonna, like.
Yeah, you're looking for the heart of the ocean.
Yeah.
Oh God, I feel like I want to get the fuck out. I don't want to stay here. This is so bad.
Then act on that. I have plans for any situation you guys want to pull through.
I'm gonna have Davey drop the chest in my hands, and I'm gonna follow after Roach, and I'm gonna try. I wish I could shout, but I'm gonna have Davey like start just making an absolute racket, just to get everybody's attention as I hold up the chest, as if to say like, "Follow me."
Okay, so Davey drops the chest into your hands. Go ahead and give me a roll plus wits.
Wits. Okay. Oh God. Whoa.
As
funny.
Davey's just like, you know, making the warning klaxon, get the fuck out, let's get the fuck out.
Ooh, 10. Very good.
Yeah, you're able to keep your footing. You have a small satchel of gold that you were able to gather. You have the dead man's chest, and you are looking at Tiny. What are you doing?
Tiny, so two are fleeing, one is going forward. Tiny's going to start pulling back. He's still trying to give them time. If the thing is launching out, he's going to try to hold it off. If he's basically trying to cover everybody, he's staying in position where he can help the doctor if he needs to. He's staying in position where he can help buy Roach and Jones more time.
All right. Jones, I'm guessing you're just continually running back to the bell.
Yeah, I am. I'm scared.
And Roach, I'm guessing you're doing the same.
I am doing the exact same thing.
Okay, give me another roll plus wits. You do see a light approaching you at this point. It's the light ebbing from the dead man's chest, so you know that other people are following suit.
That's a 10.
All right, you're
Which
able to
means
find
that
your
all
way
of
to
you
the-
get +1 to your next roll.
Okay.
Yeah, you're able to find your way to the rope and pull yourself into the water as you're just dragging, just hauling ass back to that bell as Jones is following behind you. Tiny, Doctor, now that you're in the darkness, you're searching around through this gold. This creature is... You can hear it breathing, so apparently it can breathe air. and it has this guttural sound of a whale about it when it makes utterances. What is your current objective?
Well, I do still want to continue heading to where I saw the statue before. I assume that's still in the darkness, and I'm going to look to it with the reverence of, like, worshipping a god, essentially, and I'm going to be like,
I have ventured many leagues to be in this place, to be in this time, to be granted this opportunity. I am not going to flinch and turn away from it now. I will command the ocean. I will command its depths. I will be one with the sea creatures.
Give me another roll plus charm.
okay. It's 9, so given the +1.
Yeah.
You can feel the air shudder about you as your eyes begin to adapt to this darkness. There appears to be some source of light somewhere as your eyes continue to adjust to the depths, or maybe it's just your physiology taking control. You see this shape enter into your vision, this ancient amphibious creature. Its head looks to be that of, like, it's shaped almost like an orca. Its flesh, this smooth, rubbery, leathery, dark shade of blue. As it kind of like shudders, as it like moves forward towards your face. Its face is about as tall as you are. You feel this kind of echoing through the air as two tentacles kind of writhe down and kind of like slither around behind you.
I reach out with my arms as if to embrace it.
I mean you no harm.
And like that, Tiny, you see the doctor get pulled back into the darkness.
Okay.
What are
Time
you
to
doing?
go. Tiny is withdrawing.
All right, Tiny hauling ass. Go ahead and roll plus wits.
Okay, wits. I believe for me that is a 2. Let me see. D6 plus 2. That is a 9.
All right, you haul ass. You're like tripping. You lose a good majority of your gold. You weren't smart enough to secure it. As you're running, the bag just like shaking empty. You maybe have like a couple of like cool shit at the bottom there, like some gems and maybe a couple hundred doubloons. But you get back to the bell just as everybody else is like clamoring into it. You pull on the string at the end to like say, "Get the fuck back up!" As the bell is hoisted back up above the waters, you are greeted with the sight of everybody panicking on deck as the captain is trying to turn the ship around quickly. That man of war that had chased you previously has found you once again.
Oh, god damn it! Wait, where's Snake Eyes?
Oh no.
He's gone.
No.
The thing
Prepare for
took him.
battle! Death is upon us! Damn it.
You,
Oh
the
my
ship
God.
tries to pull around as this man of war comes in. You now see the flag emblazoned with the Jolly Roger with a large blue diamond in where one eye would have been.
Oh boy. Okay.
Go ahead and give me another roll plus smarts there. I guess anybody who's been on the seas.
Okay. You said plus smarts or yeah.
Yeah.
11.
4.
That didn't happen.
Oh.
That's
All right. Jones, this particular flag belongs to a particular pirate that happened to have a penchant for bringing people, like, kind of like almost hypnotizing people, bringing them over to their side. He's known in the seas as Master Blue Eye. one Ginter Orion. Potential relation.
Oh shit! We
The
killed his
ship-
brother. Oops.
The ship is.
We
the
didn't
ship
kill
is,
him.
The ship is currently encroaching on you as everybody's preparing to man their battle stations with only 2 optional, like, operational cannons. This thing has a broadside with, I don't know, 30 cannons per side. Man of wars and all that. Martin, I want you to give me one more roll plus charm. As deep beneath the oceans, this creature has you in its clutches. It seems intrigued by your demeanor.
Add +2 to your roll. I'm going to use it on you.
And you get a +2.
A +2 from what, sorry?
From my ability, Master Tactician.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
so
I'm
you
giving
get
it to
your
you.
you get your regular charm roll. Yeah, first of all, you're conversing with this creature, so
Yeah.
you came seeking, you fear not.
Yes, I do not fear you. In fact, I feel a kinship with you that I have felt with no other living man. I believe that I was meant to be here, and that we need each other.
This creature that holds you with these tentacles, just kind of like wrapped around you like anacondas. These 4 tentacles that come off of its back, each about 5 meters in length. The creature itself, from the tip of its orca-like nose to the end of its dolphin-fanned tail, is probably about 15 meters in length. It is a massive beast. You can see a glow, this bluish aquamarine glow, emanate from the chest of the creature.
Fascinating.
To be like me.
I wish to be like you. I wish it so much.
As the tentacles begin to squeeze you into its chest, your consciousness begins to fray and drift. Goldie looks at you and the situation around you. What's happening? As the goldfish clatters to the ground.
Oh no, Goldie!
Goldie.
Goldie flop, flop, flop. And you become one with the Plunder Beast. You see through its... It doesn't have eyes, but you can kind of see everything around you through this echolocation that kind of like gives you a sense of everything around you. You see Goldie kind of like slapping on the ground. These tentacles, they feel as natural to you as your own fingers and arms.
Is it possible to use my tentacles to save Goldie?
Oh, absolutely.
I save Goldie.
You gently caress Goldie, like gently, gingerly picking it up with one of your pincers and bloop, dropping him in the ocean. Wow, that was cool. That was weird. Where am I? Swims away.
Oh.
You
No.
you hear this thunderous kind of echoing above you.
Now to turn the very fury of the ocean upon those who would command it.
You dive into the water. Above the waves, trying to mount this desperate assault as the man of war begins firing. The entire mast above you guys gets splintered. What do you do?
My crow's nest!
I'm firing back.
All right, give me a roll plus body.
12.
You take aim with the best you can, and boom, you fire it, and just right on the aft, like right on the side of the deck, where there's as many cannons as you can find, you splinter the wood, and it starts to kind of like crack in. 2 of the cannons fall into the ocean, as well as the people who are manning them.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem to do a whole lot, as there are still cannons below deck. You seem to have disabled a total of 4 cannons with this, having crashed in like the upper deck with that one, though. How about you, Doctor? What are you doing?
What am I doing right now?
Oh, sorry. Jones, what are you doing?
I'm gonna... How close are we to this man of war right now?
You are well within cannon range. This thing is maybe 50 to 100 meters out.
Okay. I look up, just absolutely heartbroken that my crow's nest has been damaged. I'm gonna aim my pistol. I'm just gonna take a shot.
Just gonna take a pot shot at whoever.
Just
you
gonna
can
take a
see.
pot shot. Yeah.
Go ahead and roll plus body.
That's +2 because of my marksman. 10.
You just like you're so enraged. You get that Riza look from Full Metal Alchemist as you like point the gun out that way.
Oh yeah.
Bang! You follow the little pellet as it flies through the air, and as somebody's running to reload a cannon, catches him right in the side of the head, and he falls into the water.
I actually really like the doctor, so I'm a little sad, and Davey goes, "Oh, great old ones," in Snake Eyes' old voice. Just like a single tear runs down my face as I'm shooting.
All right, Roach.
All right. So we're taking damage. I'm useless in a fight. I left me dagger in the cave. Two hands too shaky for my gun. So I'm gonna go below deck, and I'm going to take charge. I'm going to start doing repairs to the ship.
All right, roll plus wits.
Right, rolling plus wits. That's going to be that's a 13, which
All right,
means
so
that
everybody gets a plus
you go.
1 on their next, and you can offer a plus 2 to somebody else as you're running below deck, trying to keep control, keep charge, telling people like you, start repairing that, start fixing that up. You just start screaming, barking out orders as you and the captain are splitting up to try to figure this shit out. So see like where you can get away from and what you can salvage, as you can feel your ship kind of like rock from side to side as something beneath the waves starts rocketing at a preternatural speed. Doctor, you see that man of war that had once that had terrorized you the other night. For the record, as the Plunder Beast, your body stat is now a 4. As you are an unnatural elder beast creature of the sea.
Oh, hot damn, okay.
And you have access to doing physical things that you might not have been able to previously. What do, Doctor?
Well, I assume I have the same instincts as the Plunder Beast might. So, how big is the Man of War compared to me?
It is significantly larger than you. Like, if you were to leap out of the water from tail to nose, you would be about as tall as the ship. Maybe a little shorter. Maybe actually no, it's shorter than that. It's like 30 feet up, I think. So.
But like you said, I'm able to breathe in oxygen, so
you were able to breathe oxygen, and you were able to breathe underwater. Something that you always dreamed of.
Absolutely. So I'm going to swim directly at the Man of War and attempt to climb over the edge and onto the deck if I can, and do as much damage as possible.
All right, give me a roll plus body. This will be plus 4.
Yeah,
plus 5,
okay.
I guess, since you get
Right.
plus 1 from.
Yeah.
I got an 11.
As the ship kind of like rocks from side to side, you dart under it. People are like, what's going on? Your tentacles clang on one side of the ship. Clang! You climb up it, leap up, and on the deck of the ship, all of you see this monstrous navy blue orca squid-like creature bellow out this mighty roar as it starts to tear the shit out of everything on the deck. Like, just tearing it apart.
On that note, I'm going to utilize Where'd He Go to hide.
Yes, everybody right now is incredibly distraught at the fact that, you know, you've got this be-pincered tentacle monster ripping up, like, you are going to town here. You're grabbing sailors, throwing them into your maw, throwing them into the ocean. The sharks that had previously been following you seem to be coming to you as if by call, and are currently surrounding the ship with the fury of the oceans. None of you know quite what's going on, just that you left the doctor down there with this thing. So yes, Doctor, you have decimated the top deck of this ship. The bottom deck is still trying to prepare to fire more cannons. So, Roach, you just want to hide again?
Specifically where they go is whenever you act defensively in a combat scenario and get a result of 10 or higher, I can choose to slip into an unnoticed position and run away, rather than run away entirely.
All right, you're hidden,
It
but
guarantees
you're still in the ship, which is the main target.
Yeah. It guarantees that my next combat result will not damage me, whatever
Okay, cool.
I roll.
Awesome. Yes, you are hidden for the purposes of.
I'm just crouched behind some crates. Yeah, go get him. Get to repairs. Yeah, you. No laziness.
All right, you all see the Plunder Beast just tearing apart the upper deck of this man of war as men with harpoons are coming out to try to deal with the Plunder Beast. Not very well, but they're doing what they can. They're panicking. Tiny, Roach. I guess we're back up to combat ascension again. So who would like to do what, Doctor, as these men with spears are trying to run out here to try to jab you or do something?
I devour them with my mouths.
All right, give me a roll plus body. That's +4 this time.
Okay. Oh, just a 7.
You do take a few spear jabs. You're back up to 10 health, by the way, if you had taken anything, because you were now in your body. Taking the approximation of about, 2 points of damage total as they are, trying to stab at you and fire at you. Meanwhile, all of your tentacles are, slapping some of them off board, ripping them in half with their pincers, and just gobbling them down. You have emptied the deck of people.
Oh my god, this is wild.
Connor.
Continue.
Roach, Jones, and Tiny.
Tiny's firing the cannon again.
Fire the cannon. Go ahead. Use roll plus body.
12.
This time, seeing that the Plunder Beast is doing God's work, you start aiming below deck, and you pop a nice shot, and you get a nice cannonball-sized hole in the hull, and it begins to take on water.
Tiny will let out a war cry. Almost like he's trying to rally the troops.
Jones and Roach.
Oh god, so the deck is clear now on the enemy ship?
Yes, except for the massive Plunder Beast.
Okay. I'm gonna bring down my pistol, just looking at the insanity. And Davey's gonna say in Snake Eye's voice, "Ever try Long Pig?" Pointing towards the Plunder Beast, trying to eat people. And then, Jones is like, wait, is that what he meant? I don't know if I can hold an action or anything, but I just want to help keep us afloat if possible.
Okay, sure. Go ahead and roll plus wits.
Plus wits. 7. I'm not very good at rigging.
You're fine.
But, you know.
7 is still a moderate success. You're just going to attempt to rush about. You managed to get some people's attention who are garnered on the Plunder Beast ripping apart the man of war over there to assist you in making sure that the mast, which is currently tipping over, doesn't capsize the ship. So you start garnering people around to grab onto what strands of rope they can to try to pull this thing back around.
Okay, that'll be my turn.
And Roach.
Is our anchor still dropped?
No, you pulled it back up, and the ship is
Okay.
currently listing back towards the man of war. But since you don't have a mast, or you don't have your main mast, you're not getting much speed at all right now.
So our mast is completely broken.
It got splintered. They fired a bunch of chain shot at you, and it caught the mast pretty damn good when they opened up on you with their 32 broadside cannons. You're lucky your ship didn't get decimated, basically.
Right. If there is a way I could go and grab a rope that's attached to the mast and leap up and use my body weight to try and pull it back into place,
Alright,
could I do that?
You have a bunch of people assisting with that right now, so go ahead and give me a roll plus body.
Roll plus body. All right, I'm gonna give myself +2 on this, so it'll just be +1. That's a 4.
Not only are you not able to do that, but the rope that you grab just happened to be one that was a little too taut and kind of pulls you over the side of the boat as well as you're dangling from this rope, dangling from the mast. You're once again dangling over shark-infested waters.
Oh, Roach.
Poor Roach. We're back up. Dr. Plunderbeast, you have cleared the top deck of anything that looks to be a threat to you.
Dr. Plunderbeast.
You do, however, see a man, very well dressed, very tight red braids coming out of a stereotypical pirate captain hat. With fiery orange red mutton chops framing his sour grizzled face. He wears an eye patch. As he flips the eye patch up, you see this glass eye carved out of some ancient sapphire. It begins to glow when it looks at you, and you feel this voice echoing through you. Get off my ship.
Am I compelled to obey?
No.
Oh, okay.
It does not have an effect on you.
Okay. Well, then I think to myself, or I suppose I speak it, but it obviously comes out as some sort of ancient tongue I speak.
You believe you command the oceans, but the oceans only command you.
And I dive at him to the point that, like, if I'm leaping at him, I'm going to obliterate any part of the ship that is behind him or beneath him. I'm going to just, like, dive bomb into him.
Give me a roll plus body. It's +4
Okay.
still.
Yeah, let's see here.
Oh
my god!
You begin to climb. Using your tentacles, you lift yourself up, bring yourself up atop the mast as this guy is glaring at you, just trying to enforce his will on you, not realizing that you are more than human. You leap up from the mast, mouth agape. You open it as wide as it can go. His face goes gaunt as vroom! You slam into the ship, dive straight through it, carrying him in your gullet. Boosh! You see this massive, for those of you on the other ship, you see this massive plume of water shoot up from direct center of this ship where the Plunder Beast just dove down and took this man with it. As the ship cracks in half, you have consumed Captain Ginter Orion.
Well, that'll stop him.
The doctor is
Let's
in,
get the
baby.
fuck out of here!
Days pass as you, as those of you on the ship mourn the loss of the doctor.
Oh, I miss him.
You take yourself as close to land as you can to try to get some more wood to salvage your ship and build it back up. And as you finally finish the repairs on the ship and sail out into the seas, you feel this kind of echo around you. And you feel a single tear kind of roll down your cheek for reasons that you're not sure why. One night in the ocean, you hear a ka-tunk on the deck. You go to check what it is, and you find a chest filled to the brim with some of the greatest treasures that the ocean can provide. Nobody ever believed your tale. But at the end of the day, that's what makes it a good story. And here's where we shall take our end.